Hi, friends.
Oh,
That's it, baby. That's it, baby. Welcome to the firm of Harris and Meringue. Patrick Harris with you. To my left,
Hey.
Danny Meringue back in the house.
Bear with me here as we have to adjust the levels.
The boys are back in town. You know, we might be the only full show here at the Fan in the last 2 weeks.
I think we're right. Oh, God. There is a horrendous buzz in my headset.
Welcome back. Do you forget how to do this?
No, it's not me. It's
I've had to do everything in my
technology.
I've had to do everything in my power for the last 2 days, Danny, to not like curse your name for like, why is Danny gone? Why do I got to carry this show? This is a bunch of bullsh. Like, I don't understand. I'm very not happy about this. And then I realized I had all of last week off.
There you go.
I got to remember, okay, all right, hold up, buddy. You, future Patrick is mad at past Patrick once again.
Once again.
Should have taken the next week off and not the first week off.
I mean, I did tell you this.
I know you did. I know you did. I know.
Getting kicked out of everything because I've been gone for too long.
It's all right. It's all right. How are you, my friend? Did
I'm
you have a
doing
good
good.
holiday?
I'm doing good, man. It was different. Certainly, surgery on Christmas Eve is not exactly, I think, the way that you go about it. I'm going to have a stroke because
Dude, you are
there is
so loud in my headphones right now.
there is a buzz in my headphones, so we're going to have to figure that out in the break. But no, it was interesting. I went in for surgery Christmas Eve, 9 in the morning. Went under the knife at about 11. No, I got there at 9:30. Went under at 11. Doctors told me when they gave me the anesthesia, they go, "Hey, what's a place you want to go to?" And I was like, "I've been to all the places I want to go to."
Valhalla.
They're like, "What?"
Yo, mama.
Yeah. And they're like, "Well, you got a significant other?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a girlfriend." Like, "Where do you want to take her?" I go, "Everywhere." and then that's
Everywhere.
that's the last thing I remember saying. And they go, "Yeah, some people they react to anesthesia different ways." They go, "You're a dead body. Like you were just gone. Like we just like they put your head in a vice." And they go, "We just rotated you over and like your tongue flapped out and then we just clamped it down and you were good to go." It was one of those things where you didn't move at all, but the surgery was about an hour and a half long. Got picked up, went home, and the anesthesia stayed in me for a while. I had to take my earrings out for the surgery. My dad came and picked me up, and he was like, "Yeah, it took you 20 freaking minutes to put your earrings back in." I was like, "Just put them in the box and let's go."
We'll do it later.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, I got this. I got this.
I do it every day, darling.
But I posted up in the they've got one of those super nice like electric recliners that has all the different positions, and did that. Got up in the morning and I did successfully make breakfast burritos Christmas morning, and then I made Christmas dinner. So accomplished all those things, and then I was telling Tiff the story of Russ. That I've mentioned this one before about being really good at road games. When we go out there, you have to establish dominance. Well, I tried to say establish dominance,
Yes.
and I said establishing dominance because my nose. She's just like, oh, establishing dominance.
Yeah.
Dominance.
It's like Data in the Goonies, that's what I said. Booty trap.
It was so bad. But now, as you can tell, surgery successful. Yesterday I had the stents taken out. Let me tell you right now, holy shnikes. These things are about 4.5, 5 inches long. And
Prepare yourselves, listeners.
yeah, and they are shoved up your nose. Yeah, and it's not great. It's not just the swelling that I had to deal with. It was these plastic rubbery things that were shoved up into my brainstem. And I went in yesterday and they just kind of pry your nostrils open. They cut the dissolvable stitches and they just pull these things out. And then
It's brutal, dude.
Then they suction out your nose with basically like a vacuum straw. And after she got done with that, she goes, "All right, take a deep breath." I started to cry because I did not realize this is how you all breathe. I went 41 years of not breathing like
Felt
this.
it right there.
And yeah, I actually have to change the way I talk a little bit.
I got way too much snare in my headphones.
I do.
Right now.
It's crazy. I can still feel that I'm drawing more breath in from the left side. I have to actively concentrate on taking air in on the right side. I realize that I talk with my tongue more on the left side because that's where the oxygen was coming from. So it's changing.
You got a lazy tongue now?
I do. Like I can feel like the right side of my tongue is like more engaged now when I talk. And I don't sound vastly different, but I'm a lot clearer. I'm a lot louder.
Great.
Yeah.
Just what everybody here wants.
That's what we all need.
Fantastic. Merry friggin' Christmas.
It's a lot. It's a lot, to be honest. And the first couple hours of getting those things out of my nose, it was kind of weird. And not just like the physical sensation, it's the sound of my voice and like how much air was coming out of my nose on my mustache. It was just weird.
Now that I can hear you in my headphones, you sound a little higher up.
Yeah.
A little higher register.
Yeah. It's very weird.
We were talking about, while you were gone, we were talking about putting your voice in a modulator so you could sound like Anthony Newman.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, I don't know. I don't think anybody has the sweet pipes like Q does.
No.
You can't
They're
sound like
doo-doo
Q.
also.
Yeah,
Doo-doo
that's my
also.
guy right there.
No, it's great. It's weirdly enough, I was like late afternoon after I was just feeling a little bit better. I was like, you know what? Let me try singing. And I was just
that's got to be wild,
bro. It was weird. Like normal. I used to be very nasally, and there'd be almost a buzz in the back of my nose when I would sing, and it was completely gone. And the first time I actually tried to push something out, like loud sing, it was just like, I stopped.
It took me by surprise, I must say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been working on drops while you're
No,
gone.
it was great. It was it was just like, and again, it kind of like startled me to the point like a kind of a tear stopped, not because my voice was so great, because it was just such a different sensation.
You might need to challenge old Schultze in a croon-off.
I know, right?
I would say challenge me, but I lost the croon-off, so you're gonna have to challenge Schultze.
I don't have to go ladder, take you on first, and then take on the champ.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's
I better be included this time too.
If you would like to,
you got to get in on that. But yeah, it was. I will say the first 2 days really sucked, but they weren't as much as it was uncomfortable and awkward. I would do it again a million times. Like this.
Well, I joked with you. I'm like, I don't have a deviated septum, but can they just go up my nose and scrape some things out? That'd be fantastic.
No, it's again the first 2 days they suck. Like you're pretty miserable. Shout out drugs, because especially that first day, I really needed them.
You know this show is pro drugs.
Yeah, it was just. I got to the point where I was only taking basically a half to maybe a full painkiller a day, and at the very end of I didn't take any yesterday. Wait, no, that's not wrong. That's so wrong. I took a half of one yesterday earlier in the day because I knew I was going to get those things out of my nose, and they're like, yeah, it might suck. So I did that, but I haven't had anything else other than that. So, but yeah, well worth it. And I slept for the first night last night without those things in, and I've got one of those Oura rings, and it tracks everything, like my heart rate variability and my breathing and all those oxygen rate.
It just breaks. It doesn't work.
It just skyrocketed.
Yeah,
like
I bet.
Everything was my heart rate was super low, especially after following the surgery. It dropped down to like 50. My breathing was at like 98% efficiency. Like I was just like, and I looked at that. It tracks movement in your sleep.
Mm.
There's like a 5.5 hour period where I just did not move at all, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And again, waking up today, you said it like, oh yeah, you've got, you sound louder, but you've got a lot more energy too. I was like, yeah, I had my first night of breathing normally.
That'll do it for you.
So that was super cool.
Did you at least get to like watch sports and football and stuff and just hang around, or did you?
Yeah, no,
were you just dead?
No, I told you before we started the show. I didn't do any Blazers games. I did a show from home via Zoom with Joe one night, and I only did half the show because, well, I was on painkillers, so try to limit the exposure at least in that regard.
Y'all want to do some
Yeah,
drugs?
that's basically what it was. And but I didn't go to the arena. I felt okay enough to go to the arena, but it was like, okay, if I start, because the biggest issue was moving around a ton, my nose would start running, and when my nose would start running, it would be blood, not like just regular nose running. So being around people, I would have had to have this big nose strap on, and I'm like, you know what? Probably not a good idea to go up and down stairs when your nose is running blood.
To borrow a phrase from a good friend of mine, coward.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a coward move, Danny.
It was. I
expect more out of you.
I did not.
Can't be talking trash to everybody and then not follow through on your own.
I was not happy with myself, but I had some encouragement to not do that.
No, that's good.
So
Sometimes it's nice to take a break, you know? I mean, I had all last
it was
week.
weird.
I had all last week off, and then I came in on Monday, and I was like, right, how do we do this? I was laughing with the brand man. I don't even remember if I'm going to be able to do this correctly.
I mean, I'm looking at my text line right now. It says 12 days ago. So it's been a little while since I've been over here on this computer.
What? You don't snoop on the old text line when you're not on the air?
Nope.
Sometimes I do. Not on our show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't listen to you on Monday and Tuesday. No offense,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's kind of like what you said with the Blazers. I was like, you know what? I could just use a
little
pause.
unplug.
Yes.
No, I turned you guys on yesterday morning for the first couple segments, and then the painkiller took over.
Yeah, and you're like,
So,
adios.
I was like, all right.
I got lucky Monday at a bowl game to watch.
Mm.
You know, my West Coast teams in a West Coast city at an 11 a.m. kick on a Monday.
I should say Monday, not Tuesday.
That prevented me from listening to this fine
There you
program.
go. That happens.
Is anybody out there today?
No, just Jerome.
Just Jerome. Shout out Jerome.
Shout out Jerome. When I pulled in the parking lot this morning, I was like, oh.
Oh, it's been that all week.
Has it?
Yep. I've been getting my primo spots every day.
I saw Jeff Russ pull up the truck and take that front row spot
Got
today.
it yesterday, too.
Yeah, look at
Damn
it.
right he did.
That never happened.
Damn right he did. Damn right he did. Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you today on this New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Obviously, there's a lot to get to today. Oregon is going to take on Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl tomorrow. We'll get through that as well. We have Tyson Alger. He'll join us at 10:45 today. Just a single seggy from a very, very busy man. We're very thankful for his time. And the Big Nooner will hit some Blazers and talk some that because I can't believe I'm going to say this. I've missed talking Blazers with Danny Marang.
Missed you too, bud.
I know. I ran into some friends last night, and they were kind of like, yo, does Danny know anything about this? Does Danny know anything about it? I was like, man, I haven't talked to Danny about the Blazers in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to some Blazers in the Big Nooner as well. We'll have Web Gems, everything. Championing to get one Andy Dirt Johnson on the show today to talk a little Ducks going into the Orange Bowl as well. But let's start there. How big is this game? Not just for today, but in the history of the program. This is the firm of Harrison Marang back in action. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan.
in an easy-to-play stick. And it dries fast, so there's
Ten 17 here, Portland sports leader, baby. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Shout out to the YouTubers out there, all three of us. YouTube.com/1051 The Fan. Checking in for PDX Airport Warehouse. We are here working. Shout out to the Airport Warehouse.
Don't throw my bags.
I got another I'm listening. And then tuned in Tyler gave a shout out, and he just honked his horn telling everyone I'm listening. So if you're out there, honk your horn, baby. Happy to have you guys here today. Come watch the Ducks and Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl with the Fan at Grand Central Bowl Arcade and Sports Bar on New Year's Day. Doors open early for the 9 a.m. kick. I believe that's 8:30 on the dot with food and drink specials throughout the day. Stick around after for the Dick Hanna Dealerships postgame scoreboard with Joe Fisher and Jordan Schultz live from Grand Central. For more details, head to the events page at 1051thefan.com. Daniel, there's a big game tomorrow morning.
Decently sized game.
Decently sized game tomorrow morning. The Oregon Ducks are in Miami, Florida, to participate in the Orange Bowl against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. What did the line on this game open up to? I think it started at 1.5 for the Ducks, and I think that has now moved up.
Yeah, spread's now 2.5.
2.5 for the Ducks,
for the
correct?
Ducks.
So money's coming in.
Money's coming in on the Ducks, but all the analytics are now putting Tech as the favorite.
Yeah, ESPN Matchup Predictor has Texas Tech slightly edging Oregon, but it's a 50-50. Before we get into kind of just the magnitude of this game, is this the most evenly matchup unknown game of the four?
I mean, it should be because you're talking about a 4
or
or 5.
Yeah,
so
the rankings proved it correct.
Yeah. I feel like Tech's getting kind of shafted.
Really?
In some of the way this
Are
stuff
you
is
sure
looked at.
that's just not you hating on your Oregon Ducks?
Yes, 100%. I've seen a lot. I caught Pate doing his breakdown of this game, and I was like, I wonder where he's falling on this, and he kind of lined up with where I am on this. Of like, hey man, everybody talks about Tech's defense, but their offense isn't bad. This whole idea of like they're only this defensive-minded team, and we have to worry about Oregon's defense against Tech's offense. I was like, yeah, look, Dante's better than Baron Morton. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. His receiving core is better than Texas Tech's.
Yes.
Assuming DeCorian is fully healthy.
Yes.
Ooh.
I squinted that. It's
okay.
It's not
Dante is better than Baron Morton.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
10 toes down.
There you go, for sure.
Receiving
core, you can make an argument.
I like their running backs.
Yeah.
I like their running backs.
I like Oregon's running back depth
Yeah.
better, especially if Davison's healthy to go. Mm-hmm. But even when I look at Dante, this is not a, Dante Moore is Himothy Chalamet against just some dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have to make sure we're not looking at it like it's Oregon James Madison again.
Yeah, and also he's not Drew Aller.
Because let's not forget, this is the best team money can buy against the Oregon Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like, I know everybody wanted to put that narrative on Lanning all season. Mike Gundy shouldn't have done that. That you paid the price for that one. Texas Tech is truly the best team money can buy right now because they kind of came from nothing into a college football playoff team with a bye that can win this game.
It worked out. That's really the story around this is with McGuire. They brought in 21 players onto this team.
They took a chance on a high school football coach.
Mm-hmm. Worked out pretty good.
It worked out pretty good. And they put a ton of money into the facilities. I can't imagine. I know this is probably my bias seeping in, but I can't imagine what this team would have looked like 20 years ago when Mike Leach was there, you know?
I want to make this comparison real quick between Dante Moore and Baron Morton, okay? Dante threw for 3,046 yards. Baron Morton threw for 2,643. Morton did that in one less game. If you put his average, which is about 240, guess where he's at?
Right there.
It's almost exactly the same. He had 22 touchdowns, 4 picks. Dante had 28 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the gap between those two quarterbacks is this seismic gap.
I don't think so either. I think the seismic gap in it is just Baron Morton's availability over the years.
Yes, because he's been so dinged up, and he's been dinged up this year. He missed the game. He's been dealing with the bum wheel.
Been kind of lurking on some Texas Tech subreddits, Substack, stuff like that to just kind of get some information on this team because I'm going to be honest, I wish I would have watched them more. I spent more time in the Big 12 watching Kenny Dill and Whittingham and Sataki, those teams. I didn't see Texas Tech coming like this. And what a lot of stuff that I've read about Texas Tech is that Baron Morton is a very, very good quarterback, but our perception of him and his evolution has been stunted due to his availability. He only missed the one game this year, but he's missed games every year he's been at Tech. And that is kind of a dangerous thing to have to prep for if you're Tosh Lupoy and Dan Lanning, because this kid could be better than what the tape is actually showing you.
And here's the thing, is when we get to the wide receiver core, okay? Tech has 4 guys with 550 yards or more receiving. 4. 3 of them are their wide receivers. The 4th one's their tight end. Their tight end had 46 catches for 550. Then you have 3 wide receivers with 47, 55, and 54 catches. The guy at top, Caleb Douglas, that's their deep threat. He's averaging almost 16 yards a catch, 846 yards in the season, and you have 7, 6, 6, and 5 touchdowns. That means you have 4 guys
spreading the ball around.
Are very good. Again, Oregon depth-wise, and this is where I think this game is going to find its rhythm, is the depth. I think Tech's top end, particularly on defense, is better than Oregon's. That linebacker core is the best linebacker core in the country.
Hands down.
It's not close.
I've been saying it for weeks. You know, I would have given my Heisman vote to Rodriguez.
It's not just Rodriguez. That defense is filthy.
What do they call the linebacking core? It's like the mustache boys or something like that. Some of them have great mustaches and some of them have terrible mustaches, but that's what they do.
You've got Rodriguez, who is a one-man wrecking crew.
Yes.
And then as far as pass rushers, you have 2 of the best pass rushers in the country in David Bailey and Romello Height.
It's not just the linebackers, it's the D-line as well. And their secondary does a good job of coming up and stopping the run as well.
Oh, and that's the thing is they're the best rush defense in the country. And so what that does to teams is they put you behind the sticks and you get predictable. And guess what? They lead the nation in takeaways with 31.
Yep.
So when you've got 3 guys that are absolute demons as pass rushers, you've got a linebacking core that eats up everything in the lanes. Guess what your secondary gets to do? Pray.
Yep.
Just pray on the ball all game long.
Just be Ed Reed for Halloween.
You get those opportunities because the quarterback has got to get the ball out quick.
And that's going to be such a fascinating thing. I know quarterbacks don't play against each other, so it's sometimes it's kind of a garbage conversation topic between the two of them. But Baron Morton can play an ugly game and they can still win this game. I don't know if Dante can play an ugly game.
When the Ducks have struggled,
and you know me, I love Dante.
Yeah, when the Ducks have struggled, what has it been due to?
Dante's struggled, and he's been hit. To take the Indiana game for example, that's the best one. He's been hit, gets a little rattled. But at the flip side, though, you've seen so many games in big moments where Dante has been cool and been calm
he'll make a throw or
poised.
2 that just goes, whoa.
And we probably nitpick Dante too much here in the Northwest just because we see him so much. The Josh Pates of the world, the Gary Danielsons of the world who thinks he's like the greatest quarterback he's ever seen play football. They don't see him as much as we do. I see the poise. I see the calmness. I see the NFL throws. But I've also seen, I've seen Indiana punch him in the face and him not have a good time with that.
See, now, Indiana, though, is one of the best defenses in the country.
Without a doubt.
Texas Tech also up there as well. And
Oregon also up there as well.
Right. Yes, of course. And I don't remember exactly how much time has passed since that loss to Indiana.
At this point, it feels like last year.
Right, doesn't it? But so I think that we also have to look at how much more has Dante Moore learned since then, in terms of when he has faced a little bit of adversity, because let's face it, not every game since then has been a blowout. They've been tested more than anybody expected throughout some of those. So how much more experience do we think? How much does that count between that Indiana loss and tomorrow morning?
I think that's a fantastic point, Rusty. I really do. I think Dante's maturation, which is a big part, we don't need to get into it, but it's a big part why I want to see him do one more year at Oregon. His maturation this year has been absolutely fantastic. We saw the first 4 games of the season, kind of against cupcakes, not a big deal. His stats were stupid, and we're talking Heisman, we're talking number 1, blah, blah, blah. And then when the big games came, he had to evolve his play, and I think he's done a very, very good job of that. You're right, Russ. Dante is a very different quarterback today than he was against Indiana.
I love this, and I hope this is the same Duck fan that said that Oregon was going to do to Indiana what they did to who was it the year before? They said that Oregon was going to blow at Indiana. I've got your text saved somewhere. Don't worry, I screenshot. I got your number.
You keeping receipts over there?
Oh yeah, when the obnoxious Duck fan gets obnoxious like
That's
this.
surprising.
You guys comparing Texas Tech quarterback and wide receivers to Oregon quarterback and wide receivers is absurd. Next, you're going to tell me that USC knows how to tackle. Fantasyland, boys.
Well, you kind of were. I don't want to get lumped in this. I like
No.
Oregon's wide receiver crew way better. I think it's deeper, and losing to Corey and Moore and Gary Bryant.
Depth, certainly. That's where I agree.
Showed McClellan and Malik Benson are dudes.
Depth, for sure.
And
but
ain't nobody got a Kenyon Sadiq.
no, they don't. But on the same token, when you're talking about who's on the field, USC had the best wide receiver room in the country. I told you that going into that game, you got to see them up close and personal. Was I wrong?
As advertised.
Okay. When you've got the guys and they're healthy, and Texas Tech's guys are healthy, that top 4 is just as good as Oregon's.
Mm-hmm.
They are right there with it. Now, if you want to say Dante's better, I have no issue with that.
I would be shocked if I had to listen to anybody tell me that Baron Morton is a better quarterback than Dante
you shouldn't.
Moore.
But he's also, this isn't just some gamer. You know what I mean? Like, he's efficient. He's completes 67% of his passes. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's productive. Like, he's a good college quarterback.
Great.
I mean, Dante has the advantage, but this idea that Texas Tech's offense is so lacking, it's like, no, guys, this is not a team that's just built on defense.
Well, I think some of that too, though. I think some of that is
they have 3 running backs that are averaging over 5 yards a carry.
who's the second best defense in the Big 12?
Probably.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going a little bit there.
No.
Not to discredit, but I think that it can be where if you're a Duck fan and you're rooting for the Ducks to win this game, that might be your sticking point is
Big 10 versus Big 12?
yeah,
For
that,
sure.
that the defense is in the Big 12. Look, we thought Utah was going to have a great defense. I've seen them in shootouts and getting blown out. You know,
By this Tech team.
by this Tech team. BYU lost to them twice and were handled very, very well. And BYU has this prize DC that's going to Michigan now, and he couldn't stop this. So I think there's a little bit of that conference versus conference comparison.
But again,
the Big Ten is a
better
vastly better conference.
But in that
I'm watching
same vein,
Iowa up 14-3 on Vandy. Y'all wanted Vandy in the playoff? I give you Kirk Ferentz.
Remember what we talked about? Whoever plays Iowa in a bowl game is going to hate
their
life.
life. And Vandy right now, with 10 seconds to go in the second quarter, hates their life.
But as an aside, and again, conferences, all those kind of things, they matter. Tech had the 4th best offense in the country in yards per game. This is not a, SEC 2010 team that they're just going to beat you up defensively and control the ball. No, they're going to throw the ball, they're going to run the ball, and they're going to hang points on you.
The most recent SP Plus had Texas Tech jumping Oregon
Yes.
as a complete team. Not by much.
No, but again,
not by much.
like, they're a good team, and like, Duck fan, chill. The last time you did this against Indiana, you got punched in the face. You guys have a chance. To be honest, I still have this as a coin toss game. And I think the original spread 1.5, that's where it should be. Now it's getting bet up and all those kind of things, but Tech's good.
Tech is good.
Like, don't go in there thinking, oh, we're going to because, again, the last time that happened, you got smacked around.
Oh, boy, you don't want that to happen again. Let's talk about that. When we come back, we'll stick with this game. How big is this game? Is it compared to Ohio State last year? Where does this sit with hosting a playoff game? Where does this sit with playing in a natty against Auburn or against Ohio State or et cetera? Where does this game sit in the pantheon of Oregon Ducks as they take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the Orange Bowl tomorrow? You can catch all that action right here. Pregame starts at 6. With Anthony Newman and Andy Dirt Johnson. We'll toss it to Jerry Jorge and Dusty there at 7, kick at 9, and all the post-game festivities will be ready to go after the game is concluded right here on the Fan Sports Network. We'll get to more Ducks, Red Raiders next, but first, the Kahuna with sports.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Big's Chicken. Try their smoked and fried wings, tossed with a perfect dry rub and served with a trio of killer sauces. Menus at bigschicken.com. First on the Fan, the college football quarterfinals are nigh. Tomorrow morning, number 5 Oregon Ducks, 2.5-point favorites against number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. 9 a.m. kick on ESPN. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 6 a.m. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show live from Grand Central Bowl. This afternoon from 1 to 4, immediately following the firm, it's the Orange Bowl preview show with Dirt, Anthony Newman, and Big Sook, presented by Tullamore Dew. Then the college football playoff begins in earnest this afternoon with the Cotton Bowl, Number 2 Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites against number 10 Miami in the Cotton Bowl. 4:30 kick on ESPN. Coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 4 o'clock right after the Orange Bowl preview show. And in the association, the Trailblazers beginning a 3-game trip this evening in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP. 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Chris Murray questionable. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday are out. The Blazers are 15.5-point underdogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Our good buddy Tyson Alger is going to join us here in about 5 minutes or so. We'll make this kind of short and sweet and get to him, talk to him about this game. Dare I say, as someone who is from afar, that spent my entire life kind of rooting against the Ducks because just old Pac-10 rivalries and stuff like that. Now I just hate everybody in the Big Ten, so it's all equal to me. Looking at this perspective real quick, Danny, about the importance of this game and where it kind of sits in the pantheons of Oregon. I know they've played in national titles. I know Mariota's won a Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
This game feels like a lot to me.
It's probably top 5.
Oh, easy top 5, but I'm kind of wondering if it's like top 3. In the sense that if they win this game, that's 2 college football playoff wins, puts you in the semifinals, and all 4 teams in the semifinals, I believe, will have a chance to win a natty.
Here's the thing: you played in a natty, so that's number 1 for sure. I don't want to take away a playoff win against
Played in
JMU.
2 natties.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away a playoff win because a playoff win is a playoff win, but it's
Totally.
also JMU.
Agreed.
It's like hey, you did what you're supposed to do. Great. I look at this from the other side of it because, that's me. If you lose this game, you've had 3 straight 12-win seasons, which you're the only team in FBS to do that. Good job. Like, legitimately, it's not me, backhanding you. But when push came to shove, you did the Duck thing.
And that's why I kind of think this game is more important than people might realize.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it has everything to do with narrative. And I'm going to preface real hard on this. Please do not take this out of context. If the Ducks lose this game, there will be some noise around Dan.
There will.
There will. And
I said this a couple weeks ago. I was like,
and deservedly so. Now, I love Dan Lanning, and I think if Dan...
one of the 5 best coaches in the country.
If I had Dan Lanning as my coach, I would salivate, and I like him more than some of the top dogs in this game, okay? And what he's built at Oregon, especially coming off of Willie Taggart and Mario Cristobal and what Helfrich emptied the cabinet from what Chip did, I love Dan. Dan's gotten a big free pass on this stuff, and deservedly so.
3 12-win seasons?
He's
Sure,
building
how
a
much of a
program.
free pass he's gotten on certain losses, though, in terms of
The UW ones, for sure.
UWs were tough. Nobody cares about the Georgia one.
No, that one.
Nobody cares
no.
about that.
Well, that was game 1.
Yeah.
But the Ohio State game last year, a lot of people hang that. And I think if you...
When you get beat like that, that's the thing.
I think if you get beat by Texas Tech, it's like, damn close. That Tech team is pretty good.
Well, and I think it depends on if you do get beat by them. It depends on how you get
exactly. If you get smacked around, I think that narrative is gonna get a little loud, and again
But
a
if
little
you lose
deservedly
on like
so.
a field goal at the horn.
We'll sit
one
here on
score
Friday.
game in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You were there. It happens. We'll do the thing.
We'll sit here on Friday and we'll go, they had a chance, and this was their missed chance. This was their missed opportunity. And if they win, we'll say the same thing. Like, hey, you got out of there with a win if it's by a game-winning field goal at the end. Now, if Oregon goes in there and stomps the living hell out of
then you
Texas
just take
Tech,
your hat off and tip it.
then you go, well, good luck to Indiana or Bama, whoever they get in the next round. And that's why, and maybe it's not a huge game in the pantheon of Oregon, but in the Lanning career, this might be the biggest game.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Because I think losing to Ohio State in that immediate reaction was a what the hell just happened?
Because it was so violent.
And
Because it was
Jeremiah
over
Smith,
so fast.
Jeremiah Smith told you were about to get blown out 2 minutes into the game. But then Ohio State won a natty.
And so you feel a little bit better about it.
Really good
and they
doing
beat the crap out of everybody except for Notre Dame in the championship.
Yeah, and Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith and who was they had the senior linebacker
Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer, the feel good college football kid. And so I think that kind of pulled that a little bit back. But in the Lanning era, this is the biggest game. Because if you win this game and you take on Indiana, which I assume they will, we'll get to Alabama, Indiana in the hour number deuce. But like, if you lose to Indiana again, or say Ty Simpson goes out there and throws 4 touchdowns and 300 yards on you, you made a semis. I think you're okay. But if you lose here, I think it's going to be a tough field.
It's going to be one of those things where you're not James Frankling him. But
No.
you're doing
No.
is you're writing you're writing it in pencil.
Yes.
Of like the Washington games, the Ohio State game, the Texas Tech game.
Because it ain't talent anymore.
No.
That
No.
Georgia game was talent.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean
that's all
and
talent.
that Georgia team, good gravy.
And in the end of the year, I would argue Ohio State was talent too.
Oh God, yeah. They Dusty and I talked about it a million times. That's the most talented roster in the country,
And they proved it
And
by
they
winning a
proved it.
title.
Yeah.
More to get to on this. We'll bring our good buddy Tyson Alger on, and we'll chat with him live from Miami. And we'll continue this conversation throughout the day. We'll take a little pause and get to some other college football games. We'll talk Blazers in the Nooner as well. So stick around for that. Tyson Alger is next. 105.1 The Fan.
The
into this game, whether you've picked up from practice or picked up from the travel down there, talking with Lanning, etc. Your initial thoughts on this huge game against Texas Tech? Hola.
There are certain elements to it that have like that whole game. Like,
Tyson, let me put you on hold and let's kind of reestablish our connection as we're kind of missing it there from you. I know you are live in Miami. Jeff Russ will work on that for you. Tyson's live in Miami, gracious enough to give us his time. He texted me earlier and asked if he could just come on for a quick jaunt because things are pretty busy down there. I have to imagine things are wild down there. I've never been to one of these kind of games. Have you been to a game like this, Danny?
No, not like one of these.
No, these are big. I mean, RV Navy was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
But that was more like fun.
It is, but I mean, we get the whole, Radio Row, Media Row, and like we've talked to people who've been there, who've covered Super Bowls, and be like, that's always the big thing is like, this is the most like well put together event of college football, of like the major sporting events.
Yeah.
Because it's run basically by the military.
Yeah, totally. And it's so funny, especially in college football or baseball, regional kind of sports like that, where you're used to talking to the same guys. Like Tiago Splitters used to sitting in the same room talking to the same reporters every night.
I sit in the same chair every time.
But then it's a Peacock game or an Amazon game or a TNT ESPN style game, and all of a sudden there's different reporters, and you're like, oh, well, that's a little different.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can just go back into when, Chauncey got arrested, the first press conference that Tiago's up there for, Ramona Shelburne's up here.
Yeah, you're kind of like, wait a sec, that guy's in my seat. You're like, hey, dude, get the hell out of my seat. It's like Michael Wilbon. You're like, oh, never mind. You can sit there.
It is funny when you do have like the out-of-town media members that come in. Most of them know that everybody kind of has their spots, and you just kind of fill in
accordingly. Do they kind of wait for everyone to sit down?
Yeah.
Hey, that's nice. That's respectful.
I mean, because even the national folks, they have a home base somewhere.
All right. Sounds like we got Tyson back on the air. Let's go ahead and test this. Tyson, you there, my amigo?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
All right, there's some distance, but we'll work on it.
Well, I appreciate you loaning us time, and and we won't take too much from you because, like you said, you're a busy man, so we'll jump right into it. Your initial reaction so far being down there, going into this game, whether it be from practice leading up, conversations with Lanning, press conferences, just what is your initial vibe about this game against Texas Tech tomorrow?
Yeah, my impressions are these are two very good teams. They're two very well prepared teams. I think now that we're into the second year of this longer playoff route, I think they both kind of know what they're getting into. I know this is Oregon's second year in a row, but I think just the kind of the NFL playoff-ification of this, I think has just kind of become the norm, which is interesting here being in Miami because I'm at the media hotel. There's Orange Bowl insignia everywhere, and it's very apparent that it's the Orange Bowl. But like even at media day yesterday, just kind of like a quiet vibe. Like there wasn't a whole lot of national media there. Maybe some smaller local contingents than some other big bowl games I've been to in the past. And I just wonder how much of that is the fact that everyone's just kind of got to pace themselves, right? I get this is the Orange Bowl. I get it's a New Year's 6, New Year's Day game, but kind of what all the reporters are talking about down here is boy, can you believe that if so-and-so wins, you're going to have to go to Atlanta next week and then potentially back in Miami again. So I think while the teams are kind of prepared, I feel like this feels more kind of I heard somebody yesterday describe it as this kind of feels like the run up to the Penn State game, but just with more media. It just kind of feels like a big game for each team, but in terms of kind of the pomp and circumstance of a bowl, I think it's a little fluffy there.
Tyson, when you take a look at this game, I know you were on with the boys the other day on primetime talking about the fan turnout and it being closer to Texas. There's a few more Tech guys out there. But have you been able to talk to Duck fans and kind of get their sense, their feeling of how this game is going to go?
Yeah, I mean, they're there's going to be more Texas Tech fans here just because it's Texas and proximity, but Oregon fans have done a pretty good job of flying out here. In fact, I've been slowly growing more and more frustrated as I'm cooped up here in the media hotel trying to pump stories out as I'm seeing Duck fans post beach pictures of Miami and all this stuff. I haven't seen the water yet, guys. I've been here for 50 hours, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a landlocked state. I think this is a game where you just kind of look at the matchup on paper, and I think fans are pretty aware of who Texas Tech is and how their identity has changed over the last couple of years as they've kind of infused NIL into it. And it was kind of interesting just like talking to the Texas Tech players yesterday and like them not having to like explain like the fact that they're an NIL roster because they're playing an Oregon team that's also an NIL roster. So it's just kind of two comparable programs, and I think people are pretty jazzed for this one, even if there's going to be a fair amount of red in that stadium tomorrow.
Yeah, I think what's really funny about this game is it's the best team money can buy versus the Oregon Ducks, which is usually not the narrative other teams like to say when they play the Oregon Ducks, because Texas Tech is a damn good team. And I kind of want to ask you, we did this a little bit with USC Oregon, where we were kind of like, the big obvious story was what was USC's offense going to do against Oregon's defense? And I think the big question right now would be, what's Oregon's offense going to do against Texas Tech's defense? Look, if I had a Heisman vote, I would have voted for Rodriguez. I think he's just an absolute phenomenal player. But I actually think the secret story might be, can Texas Tech's offense do anything against Oregon's defense? Where do you lie in maybe the department, the pantheon? What part of Oregon's team really needs to come to play?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be what the offense can do against their defense. You know, if you look at both of these offenses, like they are among like the national leaders in explosive plays, and I know the thing with Tech is that their quarterback may not be as mobile as he usually is because of the injuries he's overcoming. But I just think both teams have a lot of playmakers on each side, and I think as long as the Ducks are able to kind of like take care of the football, that was the one thing Lanning was emphasizing like throughout the entire practice session that made available to us yesterday was take care of the football, no turnovers. Like I think it might just be one of those games where, you know, there's some people talking about the defenses and how this could be low scoring. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the winner of this game is going to have 40-ish or so points, and it's just a matter of whether or not the Ducks can kind of be multifaceted enough to do that. Because the one thing with this Oregon team is we've seen them win a bunch of different ways, but I think this is going to be one of those games where you need to see them win with several different things. I think you're going to need Dante to be crisp and take care of the football, but we also need to see the running game kind of run like it has all year, and we'll see like how healthy like Jordan Davidson is and some of those other guys. But you know, getting the whole team mostly back healthy outside of Evan Stewart, I think is a big boon for them. And yeah, like they know what they're in for.
Tice, I'm going to do the thing I always ask you in a game week. How does Oregon lose this game?
If Texas Tech scores more points than them.
Thanks, John Madden.
Yeah, they used to put stickum on their hands to catch those balls. Now they just have those gloves.
Well, but in the reality, do you think this is a game that Oregon loses if they shoot themselves in the foot, or can they sustain?
I think it's a game that they lose if they shoot themselves in the foot. Like Texas Tech is just too deep and too talented, especially at the top end, to, you know, basically give them a head start. And if there's one thing that we've seen with this Oregon team over the year where they haven't been like super efficient, it's penalties. It's been kind of Jekyll and Hyde for them there, and they've largely taken care of the football. But like, you know, you can even look at like the JMU game a couple of weeks ago where it was like largely in hand. Dante throws throws a sloppy interception. It doesn't really come back to bite them. I think it would this week. So I think just ball security is huge for them.
He's Tyson Alger, the I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield. Make sure to catch all his stuff. We'll let you go, bud. Thanks for your time. And win or lose, we'll catch up with you on Wednesday. Have a happy New Year in Miami, buddy.
Hey, thanks, boys.
Thanks, Tyson.
That is Tyson Alger, the I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield. Again, we'll check in with him next week on however this game goes, and we'll see. You heard it there. If you missed any of that, you can go back and check the podcast or rewind, fast forward on the Odyssey app. When we come back in hour number deuce, let's talk about some of these other big bowl games. As well, there's a big one tonight that I'm very interested. We'll start Miami, Ohio State, 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the college football quarterfinals are basically here. Tomorrow morning, number 5 Oregon Ducks, 2.5-point favorites against number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. That's a 9 a.m. kick on ESPN. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network will start at 6 o'clock. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show live from Grand Central Bowl. This afternoon from 1 to 4, immediately following the firm, it's our Orange Bowl preview show with Dirt, Anthony Newman, and Big Sook, presented by Tullamore Dew. The college football playoff does begin in earnest this afternoon with the Cotton Bowl. Number 2 Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites against number 10 Miami in the Cotton Bowl. 4:30 kick on ESPN. Coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 4 o'clock, right after the Orange Bowl preview show. And the Trailblazers start a 3-game trip this evening in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Chris Murray questionable. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday are out. The Blazers are 15.5-point underdogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7, after Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce here, the firm of Harrison Meringue. If you missed any of the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, wherever you get your podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, or over on the YouTubes, youtube.com/1051thefan. If you missed Joe and Rashad's final morning show of the year, as they filled in for the Sunrise guys, you can catch that. If you missed Sukanik last night on primetime, you can catch that on YouTube, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast. Rewind, fast forward, except for the future. For that would be impossible. We'll give you some programming updates on here's what's going down for today, tomorrow, etc. You get us until 1 o'clock in our normal time slot. At 1 o'clock, we will hand the reins over to Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, and Jason Sukanik as they will do the Orange Bowl preview show presented by Tullamore Dew. Talking with our crack producer over there, Jeffrey Rust. He will podcast that show if you can't catch it. It will be put up on the primetime page. So if you missed it, you can go back and check it out. I'm fascinated to listen to that show. I love what Q and Dirt do, and throwing Sukanik in on a big game will be a lot of fun. After that, at 4 o'clock, we will turn it over to ESPN Radio as we will cover the game we're going to chat about right now. The Miami, Ohio State. Tonight. The Cotton Bowl. So that's everything for you. We are all off tomorrow, as you will hear the Ducks right here. Pregame starts at 6. We'll toss it over, to Jerry and Jorgie and Dusty at 7. Kick at 9, and all the postgame festivities, including the postgame show, the Dick Hanna Dealership postgame show live from Grand Central Bowl. And then everybody's back on Friday. Sounds like we have a normal work day on Friday. Isaac's back. I believe the Sunrise guys are back. We'll be here. So we'll get you right back into normal.
I was trying to get Friday off after, being forced to come in tomorrow morning, but no dice.
I know, dude. I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't have been sick for all of November.
Yeah, exactly, right? It was 4 days, man.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
I made that joke with Dusty, too. He's like, man.
Yeah, so give Jeff Rust, he's pulling the hard duty today, and everybody else at the Fan for the hard work they've put into. Getting into this hour, let's talk about some other college football playoff. We'll be a heavy college football playoff show today. We'll get some little Blazers in at the big nooner as well. I'm trying to see if Dirt will join us. He might be too busy, so we'll just play it by ear. But Miami, Ohio State tonight, I'm trying to find a way to watch this game without my kids telling me the state of Ohio is a trash place and not allow me to actually focus on this game.
Well, they're not wrong.
Of the 4 games, okay, I find Oregon, Texas Tech the most evenly matched. I find Ole Miss, Georgia maybe the biggest mismatch.
Interesting.
I do, yeah. We'll talk about them in a little bit. I like how you responded there. The Alabama-Indiana game, which Alabama shows up. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm not worried about Indiana. But if Alabama somehow decided to figure out how to run the football, well, maybe we got a game. This Miami-Ohio State game, on paper to me, Ohio State should dominate. But I also know that Miami's defense is their front is really good.
It's nasty.
It's really nasty. They got dudes that are going to play on Sunday there. And I believe if they can get to Julian Sayin, there could be issues for Ohio State. For me, though, it all lies on the Vampire. It's all lies on Carson Beck. What kind of game does he play?
As a reminder, who has Ohio State played this year?
I'm going to go with Youngstown State.
Basically, they beat Texas at the beginning of the season 14-7 in one of the worst games we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Washington 24-6.
I watched that game, and I'll never get that back.
They beat Illinois 34-16.
Illinois turned out to be an okay team, but they got housed by Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they kind of beat a banged-up USC team. Kind of beat. Not an impressive win for me.
But also Illinois just beat an SEC team in a bowl game.
Well, don't get me started on that.
Oh, the SEC.
Oh, Tennessee and all their losses against teams over 500 and all their wins against teams under 500.
Yeah. And then
congratulations.
Vandy's currently getting stuffed into a locker by Iowa.
Yeah, because Kirk Ferentz in Iowa is a better team than they are.
Yeah.
If you wanted Vandy in the playoff, turn on ESPN right now, and I'll tell you why they didn't
seeing
make
what
it.
happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Diego Pavia, maybe don't be a doucher.
Yes.
But I say all this to say Ohio State's a very good team.
Very good.
But they played nobody, and when they did play anybody, Texas, 14-7, Indiana, 13-10, it's their defense. It's not their offense. Now, their offense is loaded with skill position guys, but they have a true freshman quarterback. It's like, oh, he completed 80% of his passes here. Cool. Check down Charlie does not impress me when you're playing Minnesota and Grambling and Ohio and Purdue and UCLA and Rutgers.
But he finished third in the Heisman, Danny.
He should never have even been on that list.
Oh, he finished fourth, my bad.
He should not have been on that list. That's not to say that Julian Sayin is going to be a great college quarterback.
In 2 years, he will be the Heisman frontrunner, and they will be favored to win the national championship.
They probably will.
If not next year.
Yes. But we saw what he looked like against Indiana.
We saw what he looked like against Texas. Now, that's his first start, obviously, and Texas Tech has a very good defense and was super hyped coming into the year. You know, kind of fell apart with Texas because of Arch and such, but I've been with you on this whole train. I am not a Julian Sayin guy.
Not right now.
Not right now. I am not really a Carson Beck guy, but hey, you go back to week 4 or 5 of the season, and we said this multiple times.
Miami was the best team in the country.
Was Miami. Now, they've stubbed their toe, and, you know, there are teams that are peaking at the right time right now. I think Georgia is peaking at the absolute right time right now and might be my pick to win the whole thing at this point. Miami is not peaking at the right time. If Texas A&M doesn't miss 3 field goals, they're out. They're out.
But I will also point out this is where I think this game is interesting. Excuse me, it's interesting. You have 2 of the best defenses in the country.
Yes.
Ohio State, Miami. And if you're asking me which offense do I trust to be better, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's Carson Beck in Miami.
I do too. I love Jeremiah Smith. He might be one of the most fascinating players I've seen in college football since Tim Tebow, Reggie Bush. Like, he could be that for me. Obviously, his stats were not Biletnikoff this year.
No.
We know where that went. But as far as raw talent, he's my guy. As a unit, Sayin is just tough for me. It's tough to swallow. And the kid is 19 years old, so I'm not...
We're not throwing him to the wolves.
No, not at all. I don't want to poop all over him. But Will Howard's contributions last year, I think, will be missed when they watch this game.
Again, Carson Beck, not either of our Huckleberries.
No.
He threw for 3,200 yards, completed 75% of his passes.
And Danny's favorite quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, beat him out, which is why he transferred to Miami. Like you're losing to Gunnar Stockton? That's a tough pill for me to swallow.
But also, Carson Beck's bugaboo.
I like Gunnar more than you, but
yeah.
he's not. He's a Georgia quarterback.
He's a great
He's
college
a Georgia quarterback. Not named Matt Stafford. He's a Georgia quarterback.
Yes. But Beck has 10 interceptions on the year. That is his thing of like, he can just puke all over that ball. If he doesn't do that, He manages everything. Malachi Tony goes out there and is Malachi Tony and has a game-breaking play. He's a guy. He reminds me of Branch, who was at USC, who's at Georgia now, who every time he touches the ball, you go, oh, because he's
Tony's
just
got that.
so fast. It's not Reggie Bush because that's one of one, but Branch, Tony, DeAnthony Thomas, like every time they touch the ball, you're just like, this guy can go because his twitch is just gone.
That's like how I felt Oregon and James Madison with De'Aaron Hill.
Yeah,
every time he got the ball, I thought he was just
could
gonna
break it.
Yeah,
go.
and
Malik Benson's been that way for Oregon too. He gets the ball and he gone.
It's just like, and I look at that, and I look at Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith is that on every single play, but it's a different kind of stuff. I don't know what it is. This is the biggest spread of the weekend, and it's my biggest upset.
You're going to take Miami.
I'm going to take Miami.
You know,
to cover.
I've actually been trying to talk myself into taking Miami to win this game, and
it's 70-30 in the analytics.
But in the analytics, though, I also think, and this is part of SP Plus, this is part of the conversation we were having about Oregon against Texas Tech. And some of you on the text line have said this as well, 503-864-6326. Texas Tech has a great run defense. Who runs the ball in the Big 12? Not as much as they do in the Big 10. Okay, USC or Ohio State has a great defense. Who the hell they play in the Big 10? Nobody. So your metrics and your analytics might tell you that Ohio State is quote unquote the better team, but I've seen Miami beat Florida State. I've seen when we all thought Florida State was great.
Saw him beat Notre Dame.
I saw him beat Notre Dame, who you all want in the playoff.
We saw him beat
and
A&M.
I saw him beat them. I saw him beat A&M, who also beat Notre Dame. I've seen them beat South Florida when we thought Byron Brown and that South Florida team was going to be our G5 team. Beat the hell out of them. They beat the hell out of Florida State in a piss-raining Doak Walker.
And they beat the hell out of Pitt to close out the season.
So Miami has the juice. They have the resume.
They also peed down their leg against Louisville and SMU.
The only problem with Miami, which is why I just can't get myself to take them in this game, is, as we mentioned, the Vampire and Carson Beck and Mario. Like, Mario, you are at the point. We're talking about the noise maybe getting turned up a little bit on Dan if they lose this game. It's already there with Mario for me.
I think it went way down.
Just because of the win?
Beating A&M. Because here's the thing. Oregon beat JMU, and I'm not taking away anything from Oregon fans, but it's JMU. Miami went into Kyle Field and locked them down.
Well, like I said, 3 missed field goals. You flip 2 of those, and they lose that game.
And again, in Miami's 2 losses this season to SMU and Louisville. Against SMU, Carson Beck, 2 picks.
Yep.
Against Louisville, Carson Beck, 4.
4 picks. That's right. I couldn't remember which game was the bad one.
So he's got 10 picks on the season. 6 of them in those 2 losses.
Don't be shocked if Miami's better than we think. It's just the crystal ball thing. It just worries me.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
And Ryan Day is top 5. If not 1, no, probably 2.
Yeah.
Right behind Kirby.
Yeah.
And not my Kirby, but Georgia Kirby.
Yeah.
Well, I got a new Kirby now, so I got
Kirby.
to differentiate.
You gonna go like Kirby video game?
That Kirby?
Little cloud.
I think I'm just gonna ride the coattails of the Prosser Tosser and his brother.
I like that.
Yeah.
It works.
Did you see who we hired as a DC?
I did.
Old Trent Bray.
You excited about that? I got multiple texts
Yeah, I
and
think
DMs
so.
the second it happened to like check on Harris. Check on Harris. I don't like.
Can we get a welfare check on OP over there?
It's a fine hire.
It's a great hire.
Trent Bray as a defensive coordinator is entirely fine. He's just not a head coach.
Yeah, if he was our head coach,
That's a problem. But Trent Bray as a defensive coordinator, I have 0 issues with that.
I'm going to take Miami in this game.
To win?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am.
I'm taking him to cover.
If I have to go out on a limb, we'll get to Alabama, Indiana next, because I think Alabama might put up a better fight than we think.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick an upset this weekend, I don't count Oregon as an upset. That's 4-5. But if I had to look at these other games and pick an upset, I lean more towards Miami. I don't know if Ohio State's ready.
No.
Mostly because I haven't seen it.
Yes, and
That's
that's
the
the thing
big
is
part. I
where,
just haven't seen it.
where Oregon hasn't played that many people, they've played more than Ohio State.
Without a doubt. Iowa. I'm watching Iowa on TV. They've played more than Ohio State.
I mean,
Iowa, Ohio
fast.
State. Iowa, Ohio State in a Big Ten championship. I have no idea where that game goes.
None.
Gronkowski is a more developed quarterback right now than Julian Sayin is.
God, that's terrifying.
Right? Isn't that a rough thing to say? But it's kind of true.
But it's also the curse of an Iowa quarterback.
That is true. That as well. But I also love Ferentz, too. All right, when we come back, let's dive into that Alabama-Indiana game. What Alabama team shows up, and does Indiana continue to ride? We'll do that next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick, 105.1 The Fan. Well, it's a nice New Year's Eve here today. We're happy to have you along. Wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening, we appreciate you being with us.
Listening?
Dude, I told you, man, I forgot how to do this job.
It
I
happens.
can't believe it, dude. This has been so nice to have you, my man.
That feeling will pass.
All the trash that I talk behind your back, like I only kind of regret it now. It's good to have the team back together. Rusty doing the hard work over there as he always is. Let's continue in the college football playoff. Look, tonight is Miami, Ohio State. I'm really excited to watch that game at 4:30. That's going to be, must-watch TV for all of us. Tomorrow, the granddaddy of them all, the big game. I have told this story many, many times. When I was a kid, New Year's Day, I'd wake up. My parents would drive me over to my grandparents' house. We would watch the Rose Parade, and then we would watch the Rose Bowl. That was a family tradition. We would always root against the Big Ten and pro Pac-10, no matter who it was, unless it was the Huskies.
Gross.
So we rooted for your team in Rose Bowls.
Still gross.
Rooted for everybody in a Rose Bowl unless you were a Husky, because we hated the Big Ten. The Rose Bowl does have a Big Ten representative this year. It is the number one team in the nation. That is Indiana. You remember the signs? We want Bama. We want Bama. Well, Indiana, you get Bama.
Come on down.
Now, what's interesting about this is Curt Cignetti was asked about how his players will respond to playing against the behemoth known as Alabama.
And I'm sure Kurt didn't say anything about it.
Curt Cignetti, basically, I'm paraphrasing here, said something along the lines of, well, I think that's how you guys look at Alabama. Our kids don't look at Alabama that way. They just know what they see on tape. And boy, if that's not the closest to Google me bitch that I've heard from him in a while, I think Cignetti feels real good going into this game. Dare I say, feels better than anybody else going into this game.
So interestingly enough, of all of the analytics, Indiana has the highest chance to win, yet their spread is down. Spread opened at 7. It stayed at 7. I'm sorry. It opened at 6.5. It's opened at 6.5 and is now 7. Excuse me. But it hasn't really moved much. It's kind of just stayed there. I know Miami, Ohio State, the highest spread. We talked about this before you went on break. I think this game should have the largest spread. Who's the number one team in the country?
Indiana.
Who did Indiana beat?
Ohio State,
Okay.
Oregon. Who else they got on there? Penn State. I guess Penn State wasn't very good, but that was a wild game.
But I mean, like,
They got wins. Iowa. Did I already say Iowa?
does anybody else in the country have 2 top 5 wins?
No.
And did they punch both those teams in the face?
Yes.
Then what the hell are we doing here?
I
don't understand it.
Am I taking crazy pills?
Like, does anybody else have 2 top 5 wins where they just absolutely punch the other team in the face?
Well, and that's what's so wild, and
They physically beat the hell out of 2 of the best rosters in college football in Ohio State and Oregon.
And honestly, this is why I prefer local radio to national radio, because Cignetti's not wrong. The reason we feel like everyone's taking crazy pills
Is because the name's Indiana?
The mainstream media is just looking at the front of the jerseys. Because the classic line that national media is saying right now. Could you imagine 10 years ago if I told you Alabama, Indiana in a playoff, and Indiana's favored by 7? You'd look at me like I'm crazy. It's like, guys, I get it. Indiana's been a nothing program for a long time.
I can't wait
but
until
open your eyeballs. Do I need to open your eyeballs, Clockwork Orange style?
Neither one
this
of these
team is good. They won the Heisman.
Neither one of these programs are currently what they used to be.
No,
but different directions,
dude. Like, I know that I piss all over Kalen DeBoer a lot, but the dude is a damn good coach. He is a damn good coach. Yes. He ain't Saban. Ty Simpson is a good quarterback. This ain't Alabama. Alabama can't run the football.
No.
When the hell did that ever happen? Okay, they got Heisman Trophy winning
Mark
running
Ingram,
backs.
Derrick Henry.
Like, they can't run the ball? Are you watching this game? Now, I know Alabama's about to return. They had 9 guys out against Georgia in the SEC title game, okay? Or in the SEC title game, and some of it for Oklahoma as well. They're getting 8 of those guys back. So they are at full strength. But look, I've seen Alabama at full strength. I don't love this matchup.
No, I don't either. The crazy pills side of this is I'm very much hoping the SEC continues to do what the SEC has done so far in bowl season, which is get the crap kicked out of them by other teams.
Big Ten is undefeated. Oh, my bad. They have a loss.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of narratives, boy, your team taking it on the chin today.
Boy. That game was again. I don't count it as nothing, but when you have that many guys out, you have that many guys out. It is what it is.
Excuses to me.
Look, they should have won. It's that simple. But credit to TCU. But the I can't wait until we come back on Monday when we get through these games, and Paul Feinbaum's doing that 6:30 in the morning walk of shame.
Mm-hmm. How is he going to walk it back? Yeah,
closing that door behind him, leaving that college football playoff house, with his hoodie in his arms, trying not to wake anybody up because you got ran through.
Yeah, is the walk of shame better at 3 a.m. or when the sun's come up? Because this might be a 3 a.m. walk of shame.
Yep.
I talked about how I think that of all the upsets that could happen, again, I don't really count Oregon and Texas Tech because
this would be the biggest upset for me.
This would be the biggest upset by far.
Bama beating Indiana.
This would be the biggest surprise because, look, Ole Miss is out lane, and we'll get to that game in a second, but they had Georgia for a bit from a talent perspective in that.
They should have won that game.
They should have won that game. This game feels like the biggest separation because also, let's not forget, Alabama spotted Oklahoma 17 points. I'm watching that game thinking, Oklahoma about to blow the doors off of Alabama. Now, DeBoer adjusted. Ty Simpson adjusted.
And they made some big-time
plays. And they made big-time plays, and that defense clamped down on what had been a struggling offense, and then Oklahoma
spot Indiana 17 points, and your blood's getting smattered all over the wall.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They can't take that chance. You can't give up early points, which they've done all year, and they can't. Again, you're looking at fronts of the jerseys. Indiana can run the ball, throw the ball, stop the run, stop the pass, and they got a Heisman Trophy quarterback. Okay? Is Mendoza my guy? Not really. He's got a statue. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Alabama.
Is he the best quarterback in the country? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Maybe not my Heisman, but best quarterback in the country? Sure. Yeah. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson, pretty good.
Yeah.
I like Ty.
I would take Ty, if you're asking me, of all of the quarterbacks currently left in the playoff, Ty is probably second on my list.
I'll take Dante over Ty, but it's close.
I know some people say Gunnar Stockton. I think I'd take Ty as a pure passer.
I think I probably go Mendoza, Dante, Ty, and
Gunnar.
Honestly, maybe Beck.
I think I'd take
if it's good Beck.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think
it's good Beck.
I think I'd take Gunnar over Beck just because you don't really
Bad Gunnar doesn't happen a ton.
No, it doesn't really happen. And then Chambliss? Yeah, Chambliss.
And Chambliss might be the one we're sleeping on the most. In fact, let's slide over to that. You take Indiana in this game?
Yeah.
I take Indiana.
Indiana and to cover.
I think it's time that we stop looking at the front of the jersey.
Yeah. And
when we have this conversation.
Just look at what teams are doing.
And watch how they play. Indiana's a fun team. Unless you're Gus Johnson! Trinidad Chambliss, maybe the most underlooked player in this college football playoff. We'll get to them as they have a rematch with Georgia. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
You ever had a big Kahuna burger?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the college football quarterfinals are almost here. The most important one here in Oregon anyway, tomorrow morning. The number 5 Oregon Ducks, 2.5-point favorites against number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. That's a 9 a.m. kick on ESPN. We'll have coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starting at 6 o'clock. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show live from Grand Central Bowl. This afternoon from 1 to 4, immediately following the firm, it's the Orange Bowl preview show with Dirt, Anthony Newman, and Big Souk. That is presented by Tullamore Dew. The college football playoff does begin in earnest this afternoon with the Cotton Bowl, Number 2 Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites against number 10 Miami. That is a 4:30 kick on ESPN. Coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 4 o'clock, right after the Orange Bowl preview show. And in the association, the Trailblazers starting a 3-game trip this evening in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Chris Murray is questionable. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday are out. The Blazers are 15.5-point dogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
We'll say adios to a future Hall of Famer in Web Gems today. This music makes me feel like giving him the old tip of the cap, as we'll get to Web Gems here in about 15 minutes. But we'll finish up our college football playoff rodeo here as the final game is Ole Miss Georgia. And do you know, I saw this stat the other day. I think I was watching, what was the bowl game before the USC game last night? Illinois, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And the studio hosts, they did some kind of trivia, and I'm going to butcher this, but just hear me out on it. They kind of asked, in the playoff era, it has been like 5 times in which a team has defeated the same team for a second time in the season. And the only team to do it is Ole Miss because they beat Tulane in the regular season.
Oh, there you go.
And then the gods gave them, they said, we're sorry for your loss in the Kiffin debacle. Have Tulane
T's
again.
and P's.
Yes.
Here's Tulane again.
And you know, Ole Miss went out there and handled business. And there is not a program in the playoff, whether you count the first round or what's left over, that has not had a more rocky ride to get there than Ole Miss. Okay? They have 1 loss on the year. It's at Georgia, a game they should have won, and they lost. The Kiffin debacle was insane. You could say maybe Mario had to sweat it out at Miami to get into the playoff, but that's a little your own doing. Don't throw 4 picks against Louisville, and don't lose a bad game against SMU, against an average SMU team. So that's a little on you. Ole Miss, we love Chambliss on this show. We think that Ole Miss, we're pro Kiffin. And Kiffin kind of did the Pavia thing of nah, I'm actually a douche.
I'm still pro Kiffin.
I mean, I know you are, and I'm still a little pro Kiffin as well. But they've had to deal with a lot, and they handled business against Tulane. I wonder if there is any stock to them being probably the most overlooked team of this round, despite the fact that they should have beat Georgia in between the hedges in Athens.
Look, we haven't talked about this much recently with Oregon, with the coordinators moving on and Lapoy and Will Stein. Good God, I can't remember Will Stein's name for a second there. And whether or not that's going to be a problem for Oregon, not just this game, but if they advance beyond this game, what it kind of means. Because again, in a couple of days, transfer portal opens up. Will Stein and Tosh Lapoy are going to be gone. They may be there, but they're gone.
Yeah.
But with Lane Kiffin gone, Kiffin's gone, but your play callers all remain.
Yeah, Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to call the plays still. Your new coach is the DC who's promoted. So, yeah, you're kind of in-house. Trinidad Chambliss has been like, shut up. When asked if he's talked to Lane Kiffin, he goes, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. He's like, I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
But he also did the T-Mobile or AT&T ad of transferring. Which, again, I can't remember which company it was, but shout out to them because he's like, I made my decision. I'm going to stay with this cell phone company. I was like, oh, you sneaky little, good for you.
Little B.
Whoever's running your NIL department at Ole Miss, congratulations. or your agent who got you in on this. Then what you need to do is go ahead and transfer and hit the portal as soon as you lose.
Right.
I'm going to do the thing. Ole Miss is going to win this game.
Really?
Ole Miss is going to win this game.
How are they going to win this game? Because right now, I think Georgia is the most buttoned-up team. I think Kirby is coaching at an this might be one of the best Kirby Smart coaching gigs I've seen all year. I know he's got a Bama problem, but what I've seen Kirby do in the second half against teams when they're close games has been very, very fast, very entertaining, and very impressive to me.
Trinidad Chambliss did not have a great game against Georgia when they first played. 19 of 36, 263 and a touchdown. No picks. Had 2 rushing touchdowns. But passing the ball, there were opportunities that he let go by, especially in that second half. And you can say that's Georgia's defense. When they went a little bit more man-heavy, they got away from some of their zone schemes. But when I look back at that game, I think Georgia gave them their best, and I think Ole Miss fumbled that away. I don't think they made the necessary adjustments. And I don't think that they're better off without Lane, but I think they've learned. And when you've played another team where they had to unload the script on you, because Georgia there's nothing they were hiding.
Nope, they had to empty.
I think with that, you can prepare. And I'm a Chambliss guy. I have been coming into the season. I was talking about Ole Miss and Austin Simmons and Trinidad Chambliss of where does this go? How is this going to come out? And you were like, I don't know, man.
What are you talking about? Simmons is their guy. Kiffin doesn't do this with quarterbacks.
But Chambliss came in that relief when Simmons got hurt, and I went, Woo, buddy. Chambliss has got some juice, baby. I don't think he's like this great. Like if you're comparing quarterbacks, I don't like Darian Mensah, who I've mentioned to Duke a million times. I think is going to be a very good NFL quarterback. I just call me dumb, whatever. I don't care. I don't think Chambliss is going to be a great NFL quarterback, but I think he's a really, really, really good college quarterback in that the ask of him is great and he meets it. It's like Byron Brown is the same way. The ask of you is great and you deliver over and over and over. And he's not a guy who's going to run the ball for 1,000 yards. He's not Haynes King. He's not Byron Brown, but he has 500 rushing yards in the season.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, Lacey's back for Ole Miss, so the running game is there.
He's got the dinged up shoulder, but
let me ask you this.
He's a dude.
Is there any quarterback with more pressure on their shoulders in this round than Trinidad Chambliss?
Yeah, Gunnar Stockton.
You think so?
Yes.
You think so? Because, like, I think Oregon can win if Dante...
Ole Miss has the excuse. Lane Kiffin's gone. You've already got your win.
Fair. I guess I look at it like Texas Tech can win if Baron Morton's not good.
Sure.
Okay. Oregon can win if Dante's not good. Ohio State wins a lot with Julian Sayin not being very good. Carson Beck, maybe it's more Carson than Trinidad Chambliss, but I feel like Ole Miss has to have a monster game from Trinidad Chambliss.
No, that I agree with. The production,
Miami's defense can carry them. Miami's receivers can carry them.
But also, Quan Lacey can also...
Agreed.
He's the second best running back in the country behind Jeremiah Love.
From a quarterback standpoint, though, I think it's Chambliss.
Because if I remember right, Lacey did not have a game against them. Yeah, he had 12 carries for 31 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, but he averaged 2.6 yards a carry against Georgia in the first matchup. That, to me, is the bigger key than Chambliss. Can they get Lacey going? Because that's the thing that kind of unlocks that. Again, this Georgia team is not Georgia from 3 or 4 years ago.
No team is anymore.
No, they don't.
They're not.
There's not a Jordan Davis with Jalen Carter or a Jalen Carter with Jordan Davis backing him up.
If
like
Ohio,
that's not the thing anymore.
Who's going to be the better quarterback in the end? We just talked about this. Will Howard or Julian Sayin? In the end, it's going to be Julian Sayin. If Will Howard's playing quarterback for Ohio State right now, sign me up. They win it.
I mean, just take a look at
no team is what they thought, what they used to be. The front of the jersey is not the same anymore.
No.
Yes, Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State, and, maybe you want to throw in Oregon as they're trying to be perennial, consistent players. They might still be players, but they're not the dominant whoop-your-ass players anymore.
No, and that's to your point. Look, Georgia is not a place that's been known for, like, wide receiver use. Zachariah Branch, the USC transfer, is their most explosive weapon. He's gotten healthy, and he's terrifying when he touches the ball. 73 catches, 744 yards, 5 touchdowns. After that, it's Colby Young with 336, Dylan Bell at 279, London Humphreys at 276, and Noah Thomas at 254. That's...
Yeah.
Your leading wide receiver in Zach Branch is 73 catches. Your next closest guy is 27 catches.
Clearly, they have an identity on offense, and it might be a little one-dimensional, is what you're saying.
Zach Branch is, 73 catches for 744 yards. This is one of the 5 most explosive players in college, hands down.
And he should easily have over 1,000 yards.
But he's averaging 10 yards a catch because the staggering majority of his catches, you know what they are? Screens. Get him in space.
Check down Charlie's.
But you want him in space because he is so terrifying. But this is not a team. They have one play, I think, this year of over 50 yards receiving.
I mean, that sounds like Georgia to me. When we talked about quarterback play at Georgia in Carson Beck, Gunnar Stockton, who is the kid that won the net, Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
They are not giant arms.
No.
Every quarterback I've ever seen at Georgia, not
completing
named Matt
71% of his passes.
They complete, but they're not bombs. They don't do that. They want to run the ball, and Georgia's going to try to run the ball. I love this text on the text line, 503-864-6326. This might go to your point, Danny. Ole Miss playing with house money, loose, free, great shot to win straight up. You got nothing to lose.
Look,
you got nothing to lose.
If Lacey can run the ball, which is a tall task, and when you're talking about Georgia, Georgia-Bama, Georgia can stop the run real well. They've shown that all season.
And that's what Kirby does. It's Georgia defenses.
Now, can Ole Miss be multidimensional? If they can,
it's a great question.
I like Ole Miss.
Yep. And can they be complete turnover-free, good defense? Bend, don't break.
Yep. Because this Georgia offense, while good, it doesn't scare you.
No, it does not. I like their running game.
And that's a running back by committee, whether it's Frazier or Bowens and
right.
Gunnar Stockton.
And I like Gunnar Stockton more than you do, but that doesn't mean I like Gunnar Stockton.
And again, I don't hate Gunner.
He's just not your guy.
He's just not my guy. He's a very good college quarterback.
I have to take Georgia in this game because I think Georgia
Yes.
might win the whole thing. I
don't disagree.
I just really, really like what Kirby's done this year as a coaching standpoint.
Maybe I'm wish casting because I want the upsets.
So you're going to take right now.
Miami and Ole Miss.
You're going to take Miami and Ole Miss. I'll take Miami and Georgia.
Yeah.
I'll go there, and we're both taking Indiana.
Yep.
We'll save our
And
Tech Oregon
I'm
picks.
coin tossing on that one. I'm still waffling.
We'll get to that by the end. We'll figure that out when we get there. All right, that's college football playoff wrapper up right there. When we come back, we'll do Web Gems. A reminder, you can catch the Miami-Ohio State game today at 4:30. Coverage will start at 4, following the Orange Bowl preview show with Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, and Jason Sukanik from 1 to 4, brought to you by Tullamore Dew. When we come back, it's everybody's favorite Web Gems, 105.1 The Fan.
It's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan. Step into a Slim Jim.
From the top rope there. This is Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the big nooner, we'll get to some Blazers chatter, and we'll wrap up our conversation about the Oregon Ducks as well. So the big nooner, a lot to get to. I haven't spoke with Danny about Blazers in about 2 weeks, and I kind of need
Basketball's
it.
happened too.
I kind of need it too. I got some questions. I got a question that I was asked that I don't know the answer to, that I know you will, about injuries. Not those ones, but not the ones nobody knows anything about, but the ones that that you might know about. So we'll get to that in the big nooner. But I wanted to, and we don't have to spend too much time. We can BS if we want. But I wanted to kind of just give a little tip of the hat to Philip Rivers here for Web Gems today. I don't know if we'll ever see something like this again.
I mean, he said no.
And I think it's just, I think we might be underestimating how cool this was. I think everybody knows it's like a fun story that Philly Rivers is back in the NFL and making the joke about needing health insurance for his kids and resetting the clock on the Hall of Fame, et cetera, et cetera. But I want you to realize that Philip Rivers played okay quarterback.
At 44 years old, coming off the couch.
And the 4 teams he played in their last 6 games are 24-0. I saw that stat and it blew my mind.
Good God.
Yes. So Rivers came in and played pretty solid against teams that are all going to the playoffs. And I think as fun as it is to make fun of his 30 kids and his high school coaching in Mississippi or Alabama, wherever it is, I think we need to remember, and I hope in 5 years when this comes back around, people understand that Philip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I don't think, when we talk about the Hall of Fame, I don't think you can tell the story of the NFL when you start to getting the modernization of the quarterback without talking about Philip Rivers.
No, he's a Hall of
Peyton
Famer.
Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger were your stalwarts, and then you had guys below that in terms of like the big-time winners, those 3, and then after that you get your Drew Breeses of the world and your Aaron Rodgers of the world and Eli. I mean, like, Eli is not as talented as any of these guys, but he won 2 Super Bowls. Philly didn't win a Super Bowl, but Rivers was a damn good quarterback.
And again, against that 49ers team, he threw the ball 35 times for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, it was a blowout game for the Niners, but that's not his fault.
No.
It also goes to show you the level of quarterback play. It's not just physical tools.
No, it's really not.
It's the ability to see and make reads. It is processing. Because Philip Rivers' body, he joked about it. He's like, do I look like I'm in playing shape?
Let me ask this question. It might be a stretch, but I'm going to ask this question. Assuming both players would be completely healthy all season long, whether it's, you know, a knee strain or a concussion or whatever.
Yeah.
Take all that off the table. You just need a functioning quarterback and you'll get in the playoffs next year. That's how good your roster is. Are you taking Philip Rivers or are you taking Tua Tagovailoa?
Rivers.
Exactly. And it's because it ain't the body. Tua's an athlete.
It's the mind.
Tua is an athlete.
And Tua's mind has been scrambled.
Okay,
a
so
little bit.
let's maybe take Tua out of it because his mind is kind of scrambled. There are a bunch of quarterbacks that are even on teams that are playing pretty well that I would take Philip Rivers over. And and that's why he got the phone call when Daniel Jones went down.
Like,
because Daniel Jones, all they asked him was, dude, don't screw this up.
Kirk Cousins or Philip Rivers?
Rivers. Kirk, I think Achilles is such a scary, tragic injury. Whether you know, I say this about Kobe, I say this about Clay. I think people.
We'll see what's up with Dame.
We'll see it with Dame. I think people like Tatum and Hallie are in better positions because they're younger to handle that injury. But when you get older and you have that injury, it's really difficult to come back from. Is Kirk in better playing shape than Rivers? Absolutely. Even with a repaired
To
Achilles.
be honest, in their primes, Kirk was in better shape than Philly Rivers.
Without a
Philip
doubt.
Rivers was more Ben Roethlisberger, you know.
Like big guy, not super athletic. Roethlisberger could run because he was just bigger.
He was just a tank. But Rivers was you never look at Rivers and go, I wonder if he's vegan. You know what I mean? Like, my man was enjoying a cheeseburger on a Wednesday.
Without a doubt.
There's no doubt about it.
And Kirkers, while being the better athlete, made a ton of money. He ain't a Hall of Famer.
No.
I am very. I used to be a Charger fan. Okay, and
look, those Rivers, Tomlinson, Gates teams, Keenan Allen, at the tail end of that, like those teams. Phillip Rivers has been very good for a very long time, and we did this with Roethlisberger. Of like, if I told you that Ben Roethlisberger was one of the 5 best passers in the history of the game, would you believe it? And you're like, no. Oh my God, by every measure, he's a top 8 guy. What? How the hell? Rivers' name is right there.
Yeah, I have been a Rivers apologist basically my entire life. I once got into an argument with one of my oldest friends in college about who the better quarterback was at the time, and it was Phillip Rivers or Aaron Rodgers. And we put a fat bet on it, and I think Rivers finished, if my memory serves me correct, Rivers finished the year with better stats. And I was like, see, told you. And I think Rodgers won the Super Bowl that year. And was like, oh. And definitely long term, I lost that argument. So I don't know if it's that I'm a Rivers apologist and have been my entire life.
No, he's a first ballot Hall of Fame.
But I think what he did was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this isn't Tom. I played last year, and I'm on a mercenary team in Tampa.
No.
This isn't Matt Stafford.
This is a guy off the couch.
Yeah, this isn't Matt Stafford being
It's
older.
not even Joe Flacco.
No, it's really not.
Who's still there.
Who still is
just
there?
hanging on. Just like Rivers was stone cold chilling. Coaching high school football.
If you think Joe Flacco is a cool story, Joe never stopped playing, and
for a couple years.
And he's 4 years younger than Philly.
Remember, Phillip Rivers was eligible for the Hall of Fame this year.
That means you've been out
5.
for a while. Yeah. R.I.P. Phillip Rivers. Thanks for the last ride, amigo. We had fun. All right, the Big Nooner is next. Let's get to some Blazers. Injuries piling up. Games over the last couple weeks. Let's check in on the state of your Portland Trail Blazers. Get some thoughts in 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTube chat. One more to go. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the college football quarterfinals are nigh. Tomorrow morning, number 5 Oregon Ducks, 2.5-point favorites against number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. It's a 9 a.m. kick on ESPN. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 6 o'clock, and stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show live from Grand Central Bowl. This afternoon from 1 to 4, immediately following the Firm, we've got the Orange Bowl preview show with Dirt, Anthony Newman, and Big Souk. That is presented by Tullamore Dew. The college football playoff begins in earnest this afternoon with the Cotton Bowl. Number 2 Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites against number 10 Miami. That's a 4:30 kick on ESPN. Coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 4 o'clock, immediately following our Orange Bowl preview show. And in the NBA, the Trailblazers start a 3-game trip this evening in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Chris Murray questionable. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday are out. The Blazers are 15.5-point dogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. The Firm of Harris and Meringue. We do this bad boy every single day from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Some programming updates for you. Nobody works tomorrow. We all got the day off tomorrow.
Nobody's working today.
We'll all be back in action on Friday. After us, we will turn it over to, if you heard Rust's update, which, by the way, Rust, I did. We will turn it over.
What?
We'll turn it over to Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, and Jason Sukanik in an Orange Bowl preview show brought to you by Tullamore Dew. I'm excited just to actually see those guys. I haven't seen those guys in a while.
I thought you were just excited to say Tullamore Dew.
No, I mean, I do like some Tullamore Dew. I actually prefer it over Jameson. I do. That's not even a sponsor read.
There you go.
That's just my preference. So they'll come in. That'll be a fun show. Like I always say, I love what Dirt and Q do when it comes to breaking down Oregon Duck matchups, and I think adding Sukanik to the fire is going to be just that, a little gasoline. It'll be a fun little party. So make sure you tune into that from 1 to 4. Then we'll toss it over to pregame coverage leading into Miami, Ohio State. That's your wrap-up for the day. I don't know how many hours of continuous live local regional sports talk radio that is, so you can do the math.
I believe that would be 10, sir.
10, thank you. Dynamite drop in, Monty.
6 to 4.
6 to 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Is that how you did that math?
Well, what I did was 6 to 6 would be 12 hours. Take away 2, and you got 10.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Did you carry the
big
one?
Brain on Brad.
Carry the one. Carry the one, because that's how that goes.
The home of unsportsmanlike.
No.
Whoa, what is that, dude?
I don't know. I've just had this hum in my ears the entire show.
That's
so
your tinnitus.
yeah.
I don't know what that is. It doesn't show that anything is playing.
Oh, it doesn't. What is that?
I don't know.
Dude,
Ghost-
let's find
now
out.
it's gone.
Dude,
Ghost of the
dude,
machine.
Dude, nobody's listening. Let's find. Bring that up again.
Now it's. I just did. Now it's gone. But I don't know why that was there.
Radio.
That's weird, man. That's one of those where you look over and I just got my hands up in the air.
I was just like, dude, nobody's listening. Let's dive into this. Let's solve problems on the air. Happy New Year's to everybody. I hope you have a safe and happy one tonight. Danny?
Are you a resolution guy?
No, I'm not.
Me neither.
No, I'm a lifestyle change guy when you need to lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, look, I am not going to shame anybody that goes to the gym. Pick a different time.
I know.
Quit crowding my gyms.
I know.
Drives me nuts.
I think what's tough about resolutions for me is I think you're just putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to deliver something that you're most likely not going to deliver. And I don't mean that in a jerk way. I just mean that
I do.
I just mean that in like set yourself up for success. You know, don't always set yourself up to fail because then you're just going to fail. You know what I mean? So Like the wife.
If you're gonna do it, take time to like.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to start at New Year's, cool. But take time to like, if it's getting in shape, because that's the most common one.
Right.
If you're gonna do that, go shopping 2 weeks before or a week before, and get your protein powders. Clean out your fridge of all of like the leftover desserts and cookies and all that kind of stuff. Like, do the preparation that's necessary. Like, people are like, oh, you're fat. Yeah, I've also lost 120 pounds. I know what this is and like what it looks like. Just do the preparation. Start going to bed earlier. Start getting like. You were texting me the other night, and I was gonna text you back. I'm like, you know what? I want to have a discussion right now because I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bed early. Was one because I felt like crap. Two, like I'm getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning because, oh wait, I just need to make sure I stay in the habit of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm gonna start going back to the gym. Because I can't. I told you, like my doctor told me yesterday when they ripped these things out of my nose. I'm like, when can I lift again? They're like, another week, dude. I'm like, but I'm gonna lose my gains.
Well, you might ditch out on some of the newbies in the gym.
You know what? You're right. I'll dodge like Friday.
Yeah.
How many people do you think are like, I'll wait until Monday?
Continuous gym users or
No,
freshies?
The New Year's.
Oh, Monday.
They're like,
oh,
it's New Year's, but we'll start on
90% of that.
Look, if you're one of those people and you're waiting until Monday, quit now. Quit now. You've already gave up.
You've already found reasons to not. And I think that's why it's more like if you want lifestyle changes, go for it.
Just do it. Just put the right
energy. And
energy in.
If you want a date to start the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year, that's fine. But I would just caution you to not put the pressures on yourself that a New Year's resolution will make you feel. Because
this is a great one from Joel on YouTube. If your goal is to get in shape and stay in shape, then focus on the habits it will take to do that, not how much weight you want to lose.
Exactly. It's a lifestyle choice.
Yes.
It's how much you eat. It's portion control, quality of food.
When you eat, too.
When you eat, got to eat veggies. You got to sleep.
You don't have to.
You should, Danny.
There you go.
You should eat veggies.
I eat some.
Beans and rice don't count as veggies.
Broccoli, carrots.
Okay, fair.
Those
That's a little better.
Those are the two go-tos. Because, look, I've been doing this lately. Pan roasting broccoli and carrots, they taste infinitely better. That is the best way to eat them.
Hands down, I pan fry all my vegetables.
It's so good.
I don't like cooked carrots.
Well, it's also oil. My kids don't like cooked carrots either.
Really?
I'll eat the heck out of them raw, dip in some ranch or whatever. But yeah, cooked, it brings out too much of a sweetness, and I don't care for that.
My kids don't like it either.
So like when we make pot roast, no carrots go in with the pot roast.
That's
rough.
I feel like that's the best place for
Yeah,
carrots.
without a doubt. You like the potatoes in it though?
Mm-hmm.
No,
absolutely.
You go sweet potato or regular potato?
I don't do sweet potatoes.
I don't do sweet potatoes either.
Why?
Flavor. I just don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
Really?
Nah.
Yeah, not my jam.
Not for me, man.
Oh, see, I'm pro sweet potato.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's the other thing I'll do in the sheet pan is I'll slice up like sweet potato chips.
Like my wife, my daughter, they like sweet potato fries and stuff, but I just
Yeah, at preschool she'll make a sweet potato pie that my kids really love.
Yeah.
I don't touch it.
I'm good.
Oh man, I did have some incredible French fries.
Oh, but you know what's so great that I only make one time a year? Sweet potatoes with marshmallows melted on top.
Yeah, no, hard
Get
passing.
the hell out of here, you people and your disgusting Thanksgiving food.
I had like the real food for the first time after the surgery. Ordered some delivery with this Korean fusion place, and I had a Korean cheesesteak with like Kalbi beef, but they did these fries with like bulgogi and I don't even know, some sort of like Korean sauce, but with truffle on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, buddy.
I just saw something came across my timeline about truffles at an Asian mart, and there was like a truffle mushroom that was, I know this is bad for radio, but like that's about
Size of a golf ball?
The size of a golf ball,
Yeah.
basically, and it was like this costs $1,200.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
dog.
Come again?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is like when I get a truffle shuffle pizza at Double Mountain, which is one of my favorite pizzas, is truffle now becoming like wasabi, where it's not really wasabi?
No, it's still
real truffle.
It's still real truffle. It's just that you need very little truffle.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with real wasabi. You need very little real. Like when you get wasabi at a place here in the U.S., unless you're going to a dumb high end place, it's not real. It's like 98% horseradish.
I know, which I've also said, don't use horseradish if you're attempting to substitute it for wasabi. It don't work the same.
It does not work the same.
So there's something else in there that
Like
gets
if you ever go to Japan, you get real wasabi. They will grate it. This is how you know. They will grate it at your table, and they use a shark skin. That's what they use to kind of like. It's almost like a paste. It's a little more earthy. I hate that word.
earthy.
It's very earthy.
I know, dude.
but it is.
You should have never listened to the Beers on Us podcast
Ugh.
because it's talking about lagers. Ooh, nice earthy, herbaceous flavor to it.
God, wow, why did I just get the urge to kick you in the balls? I hate that word.
Is that why
'Cause
you're
you're a
sitting there
snowflake.
curling the
Yeah.
end of your mustache while you say that?
It's because you're a snowflake, Daniel.
Yes,
that's why.
That's what it is.
You're a
It's me.
snowflake.
Very, very snowflakey.
Afraid to be in touch with your feelings.
No, it's just, but
My
no.
earthy nature over
But
here.
real wasabi does have a very, very different texture and taste to it, but it's tasty.
Yeah.
But it pairs very well with real fresh sushi. Delicious.
I did get a sushi making kit for Christmas.
Bamboo roller?
Bamboo roller.
Nice.
It also has the like bazooka thing that you like can roll. You can like put it in
the
that
big,
thing.
the big one, yeah.
I'm gonna try to not use that.
Okay.
Right away.
It's on my list of things that I want to do. It is there for a date night to do homemade sushi.
I actually want to get really good at it.
I mean, look,
To where like I buy like a $500 knife.
ooh.
Yeah, like get really
Oh yeah.
good at it.
Look, I
Maybe
am,
that's my New Year's resolution. Something that if I fail at, I won't be mad at myself.
There you go, yeah.
Because I'm doing just fine without making
You know what
sushi.
failure is?
Hmm.
An opportunity to learn.
As Homer Simpson once said, the first step to failure is trying.
See?
Therefore, I
matters.
don't try.
Yeah.
I don't
see?
lift weights because they're heavy, and I don't work out because I get tired.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to get cut, but nobody wants to be sore. That goes with it.
Well, you can always count on Danny telling you how to do your workout routine, just like you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. When we come back, we'll stop squirreling around here and get into some Blazer chatter right here on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. Enter to win a 4-pack of tickets to the 66th Annual Portland Boat Show, Thursday, January 7th through Sunday, the 11th. Check out the best prices, top brands, and compare hundreds of boats to buy, all under one roof at the Portland Expo Center. Enter now at 1051thefan.com or grab 2-for-1 discount coupons at pdxboatshow.com.
Prestige Worldwide.
What?
Boats and
hoes?
There you go.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not the biggest boat guy, but
He's a hoe.
I might partake in the other side.
Prestige Worldwide.
We'll finally get to it. Danny, I was, like I said, last night I was hanging out with some friends, and they were like, what do you know about Scoot? What do you know about JG? What I saw Dame's workout video. What do you know? And I was like, look, dude, I talk with Meringue all the time, and there's not a lot of information right now. And then it dawned on me that I hadn't talked to you about Blazers in almost 2 weeks now. Do the Blazers still play basketball?
They do.
Do you still cover them?
I do.
All right.
I have taken my longest break for them in 15 years.
Well, good for you, though. I mean, health reasons wise, you
Yes.
should have. So good on you for that. But I've been watching, the holidays is great because
I will say, I did get to watch both national games on TV.
That's pretty cool.
And I will say, NBC, Amazon, mwah!
It was so funny, too. Both of them, you're asking me from a Blazer Vision log, and I'm like, bro, they're like national games.
On drugs.
I know.
I was like, both times I was like, that's right. I don't need that. I'm good.
Now, we don't have real jobs, so we have plenty of time to watch sports, but the holidays are a nice time to, watch extra sports.
Oh, just put it on.
Yeah, and I've been kind of really glued to the Blazers of late since we've been gone. Since we've been together, Blazers are 3-3. There's a lot to kind of pull aside from this. I'd like to get an injury question to you in a moment, but let's kind of talk a little bit about what we've seen on the court. Look, Sharp's had himself some nice games.
Yep.
Donovan's been excellent on the boards, offensively and defensively,
he's been
which
a
is nice.
Monster on the offensive glass.
And Denny's been Denny. I mean, this team has a ton of injuries, but boy, the last 3 games, sure, they're 500, but I've really enjoyed watching basketball. Some of it's a little sloppy. There's been some end-of-game stuffs like, Denny, I swear to God, work on your free throws at the end of the game. And Boston kind of, peed down their leg a little bit at the end of that game. But they've been fun, competitive games for the most part with the Blazers.
They have, and it's kind of crazy. Out of the last 15 games, 11 of them have gone down to the clutch within 5 minutes to go. Only the Mavericks have more, or have as many. It's the Blazers and the Mavs at both at 11. And what you've seen is toss-up. You've seen toss-ups. That's what you've seen. And that's typically what you get out of teams, is you get these opportunities, and it can be frustrating. And I've seen a lot of people, well, I should say this. I've seen some people say, oh, you're making excuses for them. They're missing their entire point guard rotation.
Without a doubt.
I cannot underscore how impactful that is. If I believe Denny Avdia has the largest plus-minus in the league right now. Let me see this. Is on-off rating. I want to double-check it.
Well, since Drew Holiday has been out, Denny Avdia has led the team in assists
every game
but one, and that dates back to November 16th.
I'm sorry. So Denny's differential of plus 13.2 on-off, he is in the 95th percentile. In the points per possession, which is just the offense, he is in the 99th percentile. They are 16 points better with him on the floor. Next on the team is Drew Holiday at 4.2.
And that's a small sample size from Drew Holiday.
Drew has 401 minutes played. Denny is almost at 1,200, almost 3 times the minutes.
And I think I saw only one player in the league has more minutes than Denny Avdia does. At least this was after last night. And I think it's Brandon Ingram for the Toronto Raptors by 1 minute.
So the Blazers offense with Denny on the floor is in the 100th percentile in effective field goal percentage. Nobody impacts a team's ability to shoot more efficiently than Denny Avdia.
Let me ask you a question about this real quick, because, talking with some of my Blazer friends last night, I think it's very safe to say that as much as we love Denny Avdia and how he's really had such a breakout year, and, he's going to be an all-star if all things stay the way they are, Denny is also this great because there hasn't been a consistent option, and he's got the ball in his hand all the time. Is that's safe to say, correct?
I don't think so, because this is the thing we talked about coming
Because
into
when
the
that
season.
point guard rotation does come back, assuming it does come back, how does Denny's game change?
I don't think it does.
You don't think his points go down a little bit?
If they go down, it's going to be very minor. I think the difference is going to be when Denny checks out, having having Scoot, having Drew. When Scoot comes back, when Drew comes back, it will be more about staggering those guys. Because, again, I just mentioned the difference between Denny on and off is seismic. It's one of the largest in the NBA, however you want to measure it on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they're better with him on the floor. Like, he over the last 15 games, Denny is averaging 26, 8, and 8.
It's great.
On 46, 34, 80 splits. Like, he's just been bonkers good. The thing I said coming into the season, and I told you this off air and a couple other folks, we were talking about this coming into the season, the Blazers' plan was always to give Denny the primary burden, be the lead offensive creator. And I think they had Drew kind of run some things and get them into some things because it made it simpler for everybody else as well, because he knows how to toggle on and off the ball. Where Drew can start some stuff and get you into some stuff and make sure that he puts the rails around things, but he's also perfectly capable deferring. Deferring to Shaedon, deferring to Denny, deferring to Jeremy. Those three guys in particular.
Right.
But the Blazers, in talking to them leading up to the season, they told me flat out they wanted to give Denny even more than he could handle. We want to overtax him, not with like get him hurt, but with responsibility, just to see how far it could truly go. Now, the burden has fallen on him because of the injuries.
Right.
That is where he is at right now. But he is also the only guys that are doing more than him right now are Nikola Jokic, SGA, Luka Doncic, Cade Cunningham. That's the list.
That's the MVP list.
Yes. And Jokic is going to fall out of that list with this injury. Boy, that was scary as hell. I'm so glad he didn't tear his knee.
I can't believe he walked off like that. I was like, bro, get some help.
Your knee went the wrong way.
You're
dog.
larger than everybody else. And let's get into that. Let's get into injuries. Look, I'm not going to sit here and ask you about Scoot. You know, we'll know about Scoot when everybody knows.
I'll just tell everybody this right now. I'm going to ask tonight. Yeah. I've asked before, and I've pressed before. He tore his hamstring. Mm-hmm. I said from the jump when I broke the news, if he makes it back by Christmas, things went well. Guess what?
Christmas was a few days ago, dude.
And we're not there. That's what it is. Like that was the best for me. He tore his hamstring. His best possible outcome was always Christmas.
Yeah,
that's best case scenario.
And now we're probably looking at the All-Star break. But I wanted to ask you a question because I don't know the contingency plan and what it looks like in the NBA. It looks like tonight Blazers are in Oklahoma City, 5:00 tip. I know you love an away at 5:00 tip for show. Sundays are your favorite days too because they're like even if they're
3
home
o'clock,
games,
baby.
The home games at 3:00. It sounds like Chris Murray might be out tonight.
Yeah, he took was it a thigh contusion, so he's dinged up too.
So then that tells me there is no.
And Chris has hit the floor so many freaking times this season. I talked to him about it one game. I think I mentioned it on air. He started wearing knee pads because he tore the skin off his knee so many times. It was like, yeah, I needed to. He said something about wearing white knee pads. He was like, yeah, I kept bleeding through them. I'm like, dog, throw on black ones.
So no Blake Wesley, no Matisse Thybulle, no Chris Murray, no Damian Lillard, no Drew Holiday, no Scoot Henderson, no Jeremy Grant. Am I missing anybody else? No, I think that's it.
That's it for the actual, like the on the injury report.
On the injury report. What happens if you only get like 6 guys that can suit up?
Well, they have with that because of the 2 ways. I think they're at 10. No, it should be 9, I think, with Chris is out.
Yeah, with like Javonte Cook, et cetera,
yes.
City, things like that.
Yes.
But what happens if you get to a point where you only have 6 or 7 guys that can
it's funny
suit?
that you mentioned that because I was at a Trailblazers Warriors game years ago. I want to say this is 2009. It's the last game of the regular season. Don Nelson was coaching the Warriors.
Oh, the great Donnie Nelson.
And I believe it was Devin George fouled out of the game.
I know that player.
And he had to, there was a player that got hurt during the game that had to check back in because that took them down to 4 players. And so I think it was Ronnie Turioff had to check into the game
legend, Ronnie
and
Turioff.
foul to show that he was no longer capable of playing. And I believe it was George came back on. And every time he was allowed to play, even though he was disqualified because they had nobody else. Every time he committed a foul after that, it would be also a technical foul.
Oh,
now
okay.
it was only like 4 minutes left, but oh my God, Nelly had a colossal stamping, stomping, fist pumping, spittle going everywhere tirade on the sideline of like, I can't play him. He's hurt.
So basically what you're telling me is the NBA just says, you got 5 guys, you're good to go.
You figure it out, but you can't. I've had a lot of people ask me about hardship contracts. So you have to have 4 players out consecutively for at least 3 games, and all 4 players need to be out for at least 2 more weeks. The reason
I can name 4 off the top of my head right now.
Well, here's the thing. Tease, Drew, and Jeremy are close. So if you give them a 2-week designator, they can't come back.
Right. So it's kind of they're still hopeful that it's kind of, I was laughing about the meme, the hard wink meme when Tiago says that Jeremy's going to be out only a couple of days. But in reality, they do think he's close to coming back.
So, and the same thing with Tease. Tease did not have a lower body injury. I've seen Tease going through pregame warm-ups. He's had a soft wrap on his hand.
Tease Thibault. Be nice to have him back.
Yeah, no, it'd be having another guard. He's not a ball handler, but just you know who wants to see Tease back? Tumani.
Yeah, I bet.
Brother, give me a break. Somebody else come guard somebody. I am tired. Somebody else pick up SGA. Somebody else pick up Donovan Mitchell. Somebody else pick up Jaylen Brown. For the love of God, I am tired.
By the way, side note, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, that first half.
Dude.
Oh.
Well, I think
Drew stuffed him in a locker in the second half, though.
I think he scored 30 points consecutively in a game more times than Larry Legend himself did.
He was really good in that first half, man. And look, he was talking cash ass for a reason because he was on one. But shout out to he took that challenge on the second half and absolutely bodied up Jaylen Brown. And then Cooper Flagg, love him. Talked a lot of trash to 2, and 2 let him know what was going. Like, I think 2 has had a really good last 10 days. It's good to see him bounce back, not only defensively, but offensively. He's found his shot over the last couple of weeks.
He's picking them in the right moments.
The thing that 2 needs to be careful of is this has happened a lot recently. He's been picking up those loose ball fouls, and he's found out of games. He's found himself in foul trouble. They cannot afford him to be in foul trouble.
No, and that's to your point about getting Matisse Thybulle back would help that a lot. I'd like to give a lot of flowers, and we'll get out of here because we're already up against it. But I think I already mentioned it, but I'd love to give a shout-out to Shaedon Sharpe, and I'd love to give a shout-out to Donovan Clingan.
Both those guys have been balling.
They've been really, really good. And it's not just the stats. It's you've been screaming about Shaedon and his off-ball movement. I've seen that improve. I've insanely seen that improve.
Decision-making has been, the Boston game definitely was for about 3 minutes for Shea. Other than that, I thought he was great.
He's had some nice dunks of late, which are always fun.
Look, he got the run out.
The horizontal one. Did you see that?
Oh God, yeah. But no, He's had some breakaway runouts where he's just pushed it over the rim, and I'm like, absolutely not.
No, dude, back your ass up and start running.
Go show out. I've said this for years. Steph, Braun, KD, they are showmen. They know Ant Edwards is a showman. When it's time to show out, show out. Shea got the runway, windmill in game. Yes, do that.
And I love that Donovan Clingan is getting rebounds on both ends of the court now.
Yes.
That was the missing piece. You can't be a good rebounder on only one side of the floor. And he's sprinkling a little offense.
He's been incredible around the rim for him.
I just want to give the kids a lot of props.
His field goal percentage 2 weeks ago was 48%. Over the last 2 weeks, it is 61%. Why? Because he's dunking the damn ball.
Just do it, dude. You're huge.
And he's been really good on his putbacks where I think it was Mike Richmond said it the other day. Donovan Clingan when he gets an offensive rebound, he Rodmans it, which means he doesn't go back up. He kicks it out immediately. He's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds lately where he's looked around and go, I'm 7'3", 290 pounds.
Go for it, big fella.
Just put this over the top of your head. And guess what? It works.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little more Oregon, Texas Tech. I've got some fun audio from Dan Lanning, kind of about the state of the playoff, and also maybe takes a little shot at the NFL. We'll lead you right into the Orange Bowl preview show brought to you by Tullamore Dew. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the college football quarterfinals are nigh. Tomorrow morning, that's the big one here in Oregon. Number 5 Ducks, 2.5-point favorites against number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. It's a 9 a.m. kick on ESPN. Coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 6 o'clock. Stick around after network coverage for the Ducks postgame scoreboard show. That will be live from Grand Central Bowl after their watch party. This afternoon from 1 o'clock to 4, immediately following the firm, it's the Orange Bowl preview show with Dirt, Anthony Newman, and Big Soup, presented by Tullamore Dew. The college football playoff begins tonight, or this afternoon in earnest, with the Cotton Bowl. Number 2 Ohio State, 9.5-point favorites against number 10 Miami. That's a 4:30 kick on ESPN. Coverage here on the Fan Sports Network starts at 4 o'clock right after the Orange Bowl preview show. And the Trailblazers start a 3-game trip this evening in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP. 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Chris Murray is questionable. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday are out. The Blazers are 15.5-point underdogs. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, just a friendly reminder, coming up after us will be the Orange Bowl preview show brought to you by Tillamore Dew, featuring Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Q. Newman, and Jason Big Sook Sukanik. You want to check that out. That'll be fun. They'll rock that for a couple hours, 3 hours to be exact, and then we'll turn it over to the pregame for Miami, Ohio State at 4 with kick at 4:30. Just a reminder, guys, anything you need Ducks-wise, right here on the Fan Sports Network. Pregame starts tomorrow at 6 a.m. from 6 to 7. Then we'll toss it over to Jerry, Jorgie, and Dusty from 7 to 9. Game at 9. All the post-game festivities are here. Party at Grand Central Bowl. They're going to be open early. After-game party. They're going to be open there.
You got a place to go to watch a game at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Dick Hanna Dealership post-game show will be there as well with Jordan Schultz and my boy Joseph Fisher III. So that's it. Some fun things that I wanted to kind of hit up from Dan Lanning leading into this game that wasn't just about this game, but he had some comments kind of about the college football playoff, and it feels like a lot of coaches feel this way also. So I'm hoping it's enough to push the needle. But also, we know college football sometimes, what do I always say about baseball? Nobody hates Major League Baseball more than Major League Baseball. Sometimes college football gets in their own way, too. This is Lanning on the schedule change and how he would like to see the college football playoff.
Ultimately, in my mind, the vision for this should be, every playoff game should be played every single weekend until you finish the season. Ideally, the season, even if it means we start week 0 or you eliminate a bye, the season ends January 1st. This should be the last game. It should be the championship game, and then the portal opens. And then coaches that have to move on to their next opportunities get the opportunity to move to their next opportunities. Certainly, there's some conversation about when high school signing day should be. I think that could go either way because most of us now try to get guys in as mid-year players, and you want them to be able to join your program at semester, which is a challenge. But I think the first really clear indicator of a place that we can make this better is to wrap the season up. Our national championship game this year is January 19th. Right, and that's really hard to envision as a coach that's going out and trying to join a new program and start a staff. It's hard for players to understand what continuity looks like and where they're going to be at, and to manage that with visits, the portal, everything else that exists. I think the clear indicator and the clear way to do that is to bump the season up, right, and make sure these playoff games happen a lot faster.
And I think he's on to something there, and I don't know where I land on the what. What are you looking at me for?
You think he's onto something?
I do.
I think he's onto something, but it goes to kind of what we were talking about before the show when it was Calipari talking about the state of college basketball. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me see if I can pull out my wad of cash. Dan Lanning wipes the tears of work that he has to do with the millions of dollars he makes every year. Shut up!
Well, what I was gonna say is
he's right, but shut up.
What I was gonna say is that I know. I don't know where I stand on like the week 0 stuff or January 1st being the Natty. If you're going to play the Rose Bowl as the Natty every single year, okay, I'm down. But like, let me have some semblance of traditions left. I do love the concept of playing week after week. I don't love the big breaks.
The long break,
games.
I'm not a fan of.
The biggest thing he's talking about there that I 100% agree with and will scream till the end of time. Whenever it is, whenever the end of the season is, whenever you decide the transfer portal is, just put them together, because he's not wrong.
Well,
okay,
why is he louder about it right now?
Well, because his two coordinators are going. But if in part of that clip, there's also Texas Tech's coach is right there next to him, and he's like, I agree with Dan 100% on this. I think, and Dan goes into a long diatribe of talking about how if his coaches are going to other programs, that means they're doing something well. And I agree. 100%. I truly believe he means that and believes that. I think the same at Wazoo.
We heard Pernetti talking about this when we were at Army Navy.
If you want to steal my quarterback in Cam Ward or John Mateer, and you want to steal Arbuckle or Dickert or Jimmy Rogers, that means I'm doing something good. I am a firm believer of every week playing a college football game, and I love the idea of matching coaches changing, the end of the season, and the transfer portal into one.
I agree.
You can still do everything else. You can interview for jobs if you want, but you can't take jobs. You can enter the portal, but you can't sign anywhere. Or I don't know exactly, but like let the rules stay the same, but give me a structure of time that keeps these coherent so it's not just a free-for-all.
I'm with you there, but also, number one, Dan, that's what the money's for. Number two, I don't care about the coaches.
No.
I don't. I want this period to be optimized for the players.
I agree.
Whatever is best for the players, however that works out.
I think
if
what's
that
best,
means getting into the portal because they're not going to have the season shorter, fine.
But
Deal with it, figure it out.
But I think what's also best for the player is having some structure around coaches.
To an extent, but also how many players are at a university that's not in a bowl game?
Do you think it's good for Austin Novosad to not be at this game today and going into the portal? No, I think it's better for him to be at this game suited up, even if he knows he's going to the transfer portal. Because see these games, be a part of it, be with your teammates. I think that's a better move.
I mean, he could.
He's already announced he's entered the portal.
But I'm saying
if you're going to the portal, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you at home. You're not gonna fly your ass to Florida.
But you don't have to.
I understand that, and I don't know if Lanning did or didn't. I'm just using it as an example. I'm gonna send your ass home. Honestly,
here's the thing:
you don't want to be here. You don't get to be here.
All you're doing though is you're saying, well, if we make, let's just take your idea. And again, this isn't to poo-poo it. It's just if we're going to call the end of the season January 1st. Well, that just means the bowl games that are earlier, because that's what'll end up happening. If whether you win or lose, guess what's going to happen? Teams are going to tamper, and they're just going to tamper earlier, and they're going to enter the portal earlier, and you're going to have the same problem just earlier in the calendar.
But I do agree with Ryan Day in the sense that it's hard to go win a natty while you're recruiting your own damn players.
Figure it out, dog.
And that's what I think Lanning is onto, that they need to figure it out.
Cool. You're getting paid $15 million to do it. Figure it out. That's where I land on it, because you know what? We spent 50 years of coaches telling what players could do and not do, and them making just tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars while players didn't get a penny.
Well,
guess what? You're making $15 million a year. Shut up and figure it out.
Well, I think now it might be time to tell coaches what they can and can't do.
But that's kind of my point here of like,
that I'm with you
figure
on.
it out.
But
and again,
it out.
this isn't a Dan Lanning thing. This is
no. I don't
any
think you're
coach
taking
complaining
shots.
about this, shut up and figure it out.
I think they could use some help. Wow, if they only had a commissioner of college football, what would that do? All right, we come back. Closing arguments is next. We'll talk a little more Ducks, Texas Tech, make our final picks as we close up shop for the day. 105.1 The Fan.
of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. We will turn this bad boy over to the Orange Bowl preview show with Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, Jason Sukanik for the next 3 hours. Just make sure you check that out. I'm excited to listen to that on my drive home, and I'll probably pick up the podcast later and finish up. You can find that during the primetime podcast area. As Rusty said, he will throw it in there in case you missed it. Danny, this is it. All right, it's a big game tomorrow. Oregon, Texas Tech, 9 a.m. Again, as always, you can hear it all right here on The Fan. Walking into this game, I'm going to go ahead and say I like Oregon in this game. I like Oregon in this game to kind of find their way to win no matter what. I'm kind of with Tyson on this, that I don't know if I'm going to tell you it's Dante that does it. I don't know if I'm going to tell you it's the running game that does it, or if it's the defense that does it. I think I'm going to tell you it's going to be enough from all facets. I think they hold on to the ball. I think they don't penalize. I think they play disciplined. And I think they kind of control this game. I don't know if the score is going to be amazing. I was surprised when Tyson said he expects it in the 30-40s. I do not expect that. It could be ugly, but I'll take the Ducks in this game.
Well, I am an avid Duck hater, so, as the text line says.
Cry on.
Cry on, baby. Give me Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Tech. I'm going to take that defense. The teams that have punched Oregon in the mouth have caused them a problem.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. The Iowa game, they got out.
By the skin of their teeth.
By the skin. Penn State was kind of the same way.
And this Texas Tech team is better than that Iowa team.
I agree. The only thing I'll give them, I will say about the Iowa and Penn State game is they were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a neutral site.
Yeah, it's neutral, but that crowd's going to be more red than green.
I think so too.
It's going to be to be fair, it's going to be a crappy crowd. Like I don't think you're going to get a ton of juice in this game.
It's so weird because we're definitely biased because of the neighborhood that we live in, but it's so strange that a college football playoff game might not sell out.
Well, it's Florida.
Yeah, I guess nobody
it's Miami,
cares.
Dog.
Yeah.
Nobody. The U, they'll turn up for the U, and they'll turn up for the Heat when they're good, but they'll turn up for the Dolphins when they're good.
Even the Heat, they turn up for in the second quarter of an NBA Finals, and you have LeBron James.
Or you leave in the fourth quarter of an NBA Finals, which is still absolutely unhinged to me. But no, I'm going to take Tech in a close game. I think Tech's going to get this done. If Oregon can do this, this is my
shocked face.
Yeah, well, no. Hey, I have picked Oregon about as nails as anybody this year. I picked Indiana to come out and punch Oregon in the face. Indiana came out and punched Oregon in the face.
We don't need any extra motivation to come in and want to whoop your ass.
Well, you might need it. You might need it tomorrow.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
That part for sure. But I don't think Texas Tech is going to punch Oregon in the face.
Well, you know what?
I think it's going to be a street fight that Tech wins. Indiana punched Oregon in the face. I think this one's going to be a lot closer.
I will tell you what, the thing I'm most excited about to watch in this game, just outside of kind of the Oregon storylines that we cover here on The Fan.
I think it's going to be a good game.
Is I'm just excited for Texas Tech to come on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
As I made the joke with Tyson and on this show, and I'll make it again, it's the best team money can buy against the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how that plays out, the amount of money they put in to their facilities, the roster turnover they've had. Look, these two teams played 2 years ago in Texas Tech, flying tortillas.
Yeah, I wonder how many Texas Tech fans are sneaking. Because, look, metal detector ain't picking up tortillas.
That's true.
Watch out, Dusty. Watch out,
Look
Dusty.
out, Hera. They're coming for you. They're probably going to soak them in water, too, just to smack you a little bit harder.
They got masa flour detectors as you walk in.
What is happening? Got to go gluten-free. That way you can sneak them through.
It's kind of like Texas Tech and Indiana. I don't want to get into this. Well, if you told me 10 years ago.
No.
No. But I want
the doors are open.
But I want to know, Texas Tech and Indiana specifically, welcome to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Should I get used to this?
Yeah,
or should I
think
just
so.
enjoy what you've got going on?
Ole Miss is right there. Ole Miss is exactly a perennial powerhouse.
Exactly. But Ole Miss has a name more so than Indiana or Texas Tech does.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. It's SEC.
70 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean,
Indiana's never had a name.
Exactly. And Tech had, Leach for a little bit
Well,
there.
they had Kingsbury, and they had
Kingsbury, yep.
Graham Harrell. They had the air raid, whatever the hell you want to call that.
They did send the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, you had the Mahomes Baker game.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm excited for. Because look, Oregon's already made their name. Like people know that.
Like I said earlier, Oregon is the only school in the country with 3 straight 12-win seasons.
Oh, that's nice.
That's it.
That's really nice.
That's the list.
That's the list.
Them.
That's the list, folks.
So this isn't me slighting Oregon. Just Tech's really freaking good.
I know.
And where Oregon has looked short is when they get smacked physically.
I think I'll leave it on this. I think the only thing that would surprise me in this game is if Texas Tech were to blow out Oregon.
Yes.
That would be a surprise. If Oregon blows out Tech, I wouldn't be that surprised. I'd be a little surprised.
I'd be surprised, but because that defense is good.
I agree. I just wonder, if Dante really picks it up and blows up
if
that
this
secondary.
game is more than 9 either way, it is a massive surprise for me.
I think so too. By the way, let me tell you this. I'm so stoked with all this chatter about Notre Dame and BYU and Vandy and all this jazz. Coming out of these games this weekend, I think they will truly be the 4 best teams in the nation.
I agree.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, little Auld Lang Syne. I was like, what the hell are you doing over here?
I'll throw a little wrench in
I'm not used to this stuff. All right, that's going to do it for us.
It doesn't feel like New Year's Eve.
We'll send it over to the Orange Bowl
Can you
pregame
believe it's
show.
almost 2026, Patrick?
Shut up. We'll send this over to the Orange Bowl pregame show, brought to you by Tullamore Dew. Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, Jason Sukanik. Should be a fantastic show. I can't wait to listen. Have a happy New Year, Danny.
You too. Good
Have a happy New Year, Rust, and a happy New Year to everyone out there. Be safe.
Yes.
Be smart. For Danny Meringue, Jeff Rust, I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.